Hello. Hi. It's hump day. It's hump day. Who's going to hump? We're going to hump. We're going to hump these text messages. We're going to get right through them. Hello. Hi. Welcome back. I almost am caught up. Hi. We're on part 5, baby. We're going to do it. We're going to do it here on Mellyverse. Are we going to get through 28,000 more pages of text messages? Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello. Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys have been having a great week. Hello. We're back with more Mackenzie Shirilla. Let's just get some housekeeping rules out of the way. Hello, welcome. I am your host. I am Melly. This is my channel. Welcome to Mellyverse. We're just here for a good time. We're going to cover Mackenzie Shirilla. I have been covering her pretty much like every day. So I know people are like, some people are like, are you going to cover anything else? Yes, I am. I am covering Emmanuel Harrow case. I'm also going to start covering Idaho 4. And I wanted to get your guys' opinion on Donna Adelson case. Are you interested? Is that something you would be interested in seeing here? Friday is the day. We're going to be streaming all day long. So I was hoping to do a double whammy for Mackenzie text messages on Friday and on the weekend. So definitely turn on your notifications, subscribe, like, do all them YouTube things. We are on page 2,475 of the text messages. We're going to continue. And just so you guys get a little, for those new viewers, new subscribers, we're just reading through pages of text messages between Mackenzie and her boyfriend, Dom, who she killed in the car crash. And they're in order, but sometimes it skips. So don't be confused. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. But it's just what was in the evidence package. So these text messages basically show like a perspective of their relationship that was like somewhat abusive. So trigger warning, they are pretty crazy. I'm hooked on these text messages. I know you guys are too. I get a lot of comments. I know you guys like this, and I really like to read them out with you guys too. So just know that we're here for a good time. We're just having a good time reading these text messages. I do what I want. It's my channel, and you are welcome here, and I appreciate you for being here. So make sure you hit the like button, and let's just get started. I'm going to say hi to some people real quick, and then we'll get right into the text messages. Hello. Hi, Austin, Mark. I saw everybody in here. Yeah, I saw Ash. I saw Persephone, Shanta, and Corso. I see Cree. I see my mod Abuelita. Hello. Thanks for all the videos. Yes. I have a video coming out. It's going to be a pre-record, so maybe like tomorrow or Friday, and it is a Mackenzie one. You don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but it's good. It's good. No one else has put it out there. So definitely make sure, like I said, make sure you check out the playlist and my previous videos. So I am kind of a newer channel, but I have a lot of content for being a new channel. I do love true crime. So we cover all kinds of cases, not just Mackenzie. Hey, Ash. Ash says, I'm new here and I love it so far. Yay! I know, Ash. I've been seeing you in the comments. Thank you. Comments are fun to read, and I do like to get your guys' feedback. So definitely, and it does help creators. So definitely, please just like hit the like button, comment, and then just come back for more, really. And if you don't, I'm going to be really upset. I'm going to be really mad. I want you guys to be obsessed with me. You guys obsessed with me? Are you guys obsessed with me now? Who do I sound like? Hey, Francis. I've been very much. Do you like me? Did you hit the like button? I'm going to be so pissed if you don't hit the like button. I'm going crazy. Did you hit it? Are there any social? Yes. Someone just asked, are there, I'm joking. So please don't leave if you're scared. New subscriber here too. I'm obsessed. Yay. Okay. So someone just said, is there other stuff other than text messages? Yes, I have all of her social media. I'm trying to figure out how I want to show you guys it, because some of it, she's like smoking out of the bong and she's like doing all these things. So I probably can't show it on TikTok. I mean, definitely not on TikTok. Make sure you follow me on TikTok too. I can't show it on YouTube because like something called like policy guidelines. I'm like, rules, I barely follow them in my real life. Like, why would I come to YouTube and follow them here? But I really like it, YouTube. So I don't want to like break the rules. Well, I'll try not to break the rules. But so I'm trying to figure out how I want to show the Mackenzie stuff. But I have all of her Snapchats. I have 400 Snapchats. I know. You thought I had enough with the text messages. We have all the Snapchats, all the TikToks, and all the Instagrams. So all the Instagram pics, all of it. We have all of it. I'll let you guys know as we go. I am working on my Patreon. I saw a few people ask about the Patreon. It's coming. Don't come for me. It'll be up soon. But anyways, let's get started with the text messages. Okay, so we left off on, yay! Yes, someone did gift you. Hi, I made it. Hi. I think you can show smoking out of the bong. Oh, really? Can you? I'll have to look into it. Yeah. Can you scoop? I think we have our own Mackenzie. I want to watch it all. Do it. Okay, let's get started. So we left off on, and we're watching, and by the way, I'm reading from the beginning. So for those of you new viewers, we're starting in 2020. We want all the tea. We want everything the detectives have. We want to know what information they were going with, and this is it. So we're getting a foreshadowing to the car crash and the relationship. We're back in 2020 and they're already being crazy. So I can't even imagine when we get to like 2021 and 2022, we'll get there. Have faith in me. I will definitely read all of them with you guys. Okay, so let's see. They were talking about, he said on March 12th, I think I'm going to chill with Kyle and AJ, maybe. This was like 2 nights ago. So Dom says, I'm going to chill with Kyle and AJ, maybe. Mackenzie says, bring me. And Dom says, maybe. And she says, I want you to see my hair. And I want to chill. And Dom says, okay, I'll let you know. I'm probably not chilling with them anyways. And Mackenzie says, I'm going to be done with my hair very soon. And Dom says, to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to chill today. I'd rather wait and try to get my shit done. And if shit really gets down, the virus, we can just kick it and not have to do shit. So this was during like, I think lockdown, if you guys remember lockdown. So she says, sad face, sideways face, maybe later. He says, yeah. She says, I wanted to chill, please try. And he says, I will. She says, okay. I'm home, by the way. He says, let me see your hair. She says, okay, I'll send a pic. He doesn't answer. And she says, Dom, call me right now. I'm for real about to just be so done with this shit. I really hope I'm wrong, she says. Ooh, she started quick. So she removes an exclamation mark and then he says, what? And she says, I just don't understand how Carl can do drops with you, but I can't. But it's whatever. It's not like I ask you every day to come on cells with you. LOL. Can you come get me soon or now though? And he says, Carl is on the team. And she says, I've been on the team Dom, LMAO. It's whatever. Carl and them always get to chill with you. I hate Carl. Babe, come. She dislikes it. She removes a question mark. And he says, no, we're making bread. He said, he's helping out. And Mackenzie says, he's with you right now. I'm so done with broke ass N-words, taking my time with you. Like, yeah, be cool with broke N-words, Dom, totally works. It's just funny how Carl and all them goons come with you, but I can't. And I'm way effing better than all of them. And what you did yesterday, not happening tonight. Text back right now. Here we effing go again, she says. She dislikes he's helping out. And she says, question mark. Is it really that hard to text back? I'm for real done. No response. And she says, question mark. So you're just going to leave me on red? That's how you're going to be? So she questions her own message. And he says, I'm not trying to do that. And she says, trying to do what? Leave me on red again? Now she's typing in caps. Like, I mean, you already ignoring me and choosing to chill with an effing loser instead of me. I could for real F someone up right now. I'm so mad. And he says, he's getting me money. What do you mean? And she says, tell him to get the F out of here. He's a bitch effing taking up time I could have been with you. Send his ugly ass the F home and get me. Like, I don't get it. It's easier for me to go alone so I can listen to my books. Like, literally bullshit, Dom. Whoa. is getting crazy. And he says, N-word, that was a grip ago. I had no bread. Please, he did. And she says, he can text you. He says, chill out. We're going to chill today. She says, I could probably F Carl up right now. I'm not about to chill out. Whoa. She says, when you're with that slow ass N-word, you can come get me now, 9 o'clock. And Carl better not be near me. Answer faster. And he says, stop tweaking or I won't get you. And she says, get me now from 9 o'clock. I'm not waiting any longer. If Carl takes up any more time, I could have been with you. I'm going to be so mad. Dom, come soon. She emphasizes her own text message. Question mark, question mark. So I'm gonna get let on red again. Dope. She removes an exclamation mark. And she says, like, if you can open the text, you can answer. Like, you're telling me not to freak out, then you leave me on red. And she questions it. And he says, my phone has been doing that for some reason. She says, I do not care, bruh. It literally makes me go effing crazy. Like, how am I supposed to know you didn't read it? When are you coming? And she questions it. Or don't text back, like WTF. And she says, you literally left me on red again. And he says, I don't know. And she says, what do you mean I don't know? Oh my God, are you trying to make me flip out? Answer the phone right now. I'm talking to you on the phone. Texting you is the most annoying thing when you act like this. You are such a little bitch. Really, N-word? You literally are a dick. Whoa. She says, this is when I flip out and just go to your house. And she loves her own message. And she says, do you really want that? You know that call that we watched here on my, the video of when she's like, I'm going to key your car. Are you guys getting this? Like, are you getting those vibes? She is big mad today. Amber says she's big mad. She is big mad. Something pissed her off. She's clearly settling in her trash character. I wonder, dude, I'm telling you guys, I feel like we're watching The Mood. Like the mood waves. One of them is up, one of them is down. Dom is cussing her out. She's begging on her knees. She's cussing him out. He's chill. Like, it's very much like unstable and very like toxic. And I just could not deal with being in a relationship with like that. So I can't imagine it. She's crazy. And around COVID time, right. Okay, so she says, do you really want that? She's like threatening him. And he says, I said, I'm not going to pick you up if you're flipping out. And she says, I'm flipping out because you're ignoring me. Like, what do you think is going to happen? You're on D&D. Come get me now. Come right now. I said, come get me right now. Your annoying ass can't go any effing day without being mean to me. One day, she says, it's like you have to be an effing a-hole once a day. And he says, I'm not. She says, tell me, why do you do it? Yes, you are. She's so mad. She typed 8 instead of R. You know what I mean? Like, we've all been there before. We've all been so mad we like don't even know how to type. We don't even know how to spell. It's okay. It's okay, Livies. We go through that sometimes. But like, all I'm saying is like, she's pissed. What's D&D? D&D is do not disturb, baby. Do not disturb the telephone. Right? Yeah. I don't know how he stayed with her for 3 years. It's like fatal attraction. It's bad. Okay, so let's continue. She says, yes, you ate. But she means yes, you are. I'm waiting for you to come. Come now. Drop his ugly ass the F off then and get me. If you don't come, I'm just going to come soon. She dislikes it. Then she says, Dom, I said come get me right now. And he doesn't respond. And she emphasizes her own text messages because he doesn't respond. And then she says, Dom, you wonder why I freak out every day. It's your fault. Thanks so much for leading me on every day, she says. And then he says, what do you mean? And she says, you lead me on every day. Every day. And he says, chill. And she says, you tell me later, then you ignore me. And he's like, I'm just not going to get you now. And she says, then tell me why we can't hang. See, she says. And he says, we can't hang. And she says, I'm coming over right now, tonight, right now. I'm on my way. I'll be waiting for you. Smiley. Oh my, that's some freaky shite. She's like, I'm right outside the door. Boo. Hey, Laura. Yeah. She's like, I'm waiting for you. Smiley face. Yeah. That's like, like Scream, the movie Scream, like back in the day, like when he's like, oh, I'm outside your window. Like that's Mackenzie outside the window. Okay, but let's continue. She says, I'll be waiting for you, Smiley. And he's like, no. And she's like, yes, the F I will. This is not happening. We are chilling tonight. I needed Bud for 4 days. I need Bud. I will be at your house. I am on the way. I will be there at 9:20. You can give me the Bud. I'm for real getting ready. And he says, I literally seen you like yesterday. You could have got some. She says, I'm about to be in the car. And he says, and I'm not home. She says, no, you did this to me yesterday. I will wait. See you soon. I'm for real going to be there. I'll wait. I'm in your living room. I'm on the way there. Oh my God. She's like, I'm in the living room. Just kidding. I'm on the way there. Such a creep. Okay. So she says, I'm on the way there. You can be as mad as you want. Answer right now. So I know I'm going to be at your house. She emphasizes it because he doesn't respond. And then she says, answer. F it. I'm going to be there. I'll see your mean ass soon. And he says, you're not going to my house. She says, you can say sorry in person. And he says, that's not cool. And she says, it's not cool what you're doing right now. Telling me later than saying no. Like, what a-holes do that? And he says, bruh. And she says, bruh, I don't care. I'll be at your house. I'll leave you alone till you're there. I'll leave after I get weed and we talk. I'm not letting you win every day. You do this to me too much. You bring a DICK. I literally sit here and stress, wondering if I'm pregnant, and this is how you treat me. Oh, we talked about this on the last live. Like, she's bringing up the preggers thing again. Are you guys shook? Are you shook? I'm shook. Hey, Jules is sweet. Yeah. He definitely does later on. Dude, she thinks she's pregs or what? Like, she's had a few scares, right? And they're only like 14, 15, 16, 15 years old here. Shook. He locks her out of his bedroom. If my boyfriend was locking me out the bedroom, we would have problems. She oh no. She lying. Pregnancy scared has entered the chat. Is she using that as a manipulation tactic? Let me know. So she says, I literally, and this is how you treat me. See your mean ass soon. I'm not letting you play with my head anymore. You do it like every day. You make me wait, then F me over. And he doesn't respond. And she says, answer. And she says, answer right now. And he says, why are you doing this? Mackenzie says, why are you doing this? You start everything. We can talk when you're home, N-word. I'll just talk to your mom on the phone while I'm there. And he says, are you actually there? And she says, come find out. You literally need to call me right now. And he says, no. She says, okay, I'm at your house. I'm going to wait for you. Then you can finish cells with gay ass Carl. Dom, you can fix this or not. Are you going to fix it? Yes or no? Now I feel like I'm going to puke. I literally hate when you do this. You are mean. I don't know why you think you're all that when you treat your girl like shit. Like, everyone is only nice till they get what they want. Answer. And he doesn't respond. And then she says, I'm there. If you really have an issue, you can come talk to me. I'm walking over there right now. See you soon. And she questions it. And then she sends a picture of, I can't see what that is. And she says, you can drive me the F home. It's raining. I'm walking over right now. And he finally responds and says, why are you walking? Oh my God. And she says, thank you so much. I'm done talking to you. Tell us in person. I'm so done mad at you. You can stop being a PUSSY. Thanks so much for getting me. And she sends another picture. And then she says, on Loon Road. Here, I'll be waiting, N-word. She sends a picture of her waiting in his house. What a freak. Literally in his house. She uses that to manipulate him. Yes, I do love on the Theta. She probably tried the hardest shit she could to get pregnant. Thank you, Mark. Mark just gifted 5 memberships. Am I late or was that already happening? Sorry if I'm late. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for gifting. I just seen that. You are awesome. Hey, gaming. Yeah, stalking much? Right. Thank you, Mark. Why does he leave his door unlocked? At this point, I would be, very concerned. She's garbage. She needs to stay in jail. Mark is the best. Mark wants me not to be mad at him for not texting me back in 1.5 seconds. She's garbage. No worries, Melly. Is there only one membership? There is for now. Definitely make sure you guys catch a membership. I'm thinking of doing a couple lives this week with kind of like the Melly After Darks. We do like party time, shopping time, food time, all the other stuff. She's a psycho, dude. She sends a picture in his living room and then she says, I'm here, N-word. I don't really like how they use that word. It's really disgusting. It's really trashy. She never let him breathe. No, she never let him breathe. Okay. So then she says, I'm here, N-word. How was the mall? Oh, wait, is this a different day? No, it's the same day. She says, how was the mall? I'm at your house. I'm waiting still. You making me wait is just making me more mad. You effed up. And he says, why? And she says, you effed up. And he says, how? She says, you're literally such a DICK for no reason. Like, if you flip out, I'm not going to get you. Then you ignore me. Like, where does that shot click in your head? Where does that shit click in your head? We need to talk. I don't know why you can't keep your word with me. And it's funny how you say we can hang, then you're with AJ and Carl. And he says, you flipped out, so I didn't get you. And she says, why do you effing think, what do you effing think is going to happen when your mean ass ignores me? I'm going to flip out, she says. Come effing back. I'm not leaving until you're here. He doesn't respond. And she says, come the F back right now. If you are at Carl's, I'm going to be so mad. Mary's probably there. And he says, I'm not. She says, yeah, you probably lying since you lie about chilling with me every day. If you don't come soon, I'm about to be so mad. Come right now, or I'll find where the F you are and I will pull up. I'm done with your gay ass games you play 24/7. Come back right now. He doesn't respond. And she says, are you dumb? Come back right now. You literally are annoying. How do you just do this? And she says, I'm waiting. You about to get bitched out. Come right now. Like, I don't know what is wrong with you. I'm just about to go in your room. You're my ride home, N-word. You're a DICK. What the F is wrong with you? Get go? Question mark. And he says, no. She says, I'm on the way. You a bitch. Okay, so she's like threatening him that she's already there. And then she's like, I'm on the way. She says, I'm on the way. You a bitch. He says, you lucky I don't F up your room. So not only does she threaten to key his car, now she's like, I'm going to mess up your room. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay, I was reading. She says, you're lucky I don't F up your room. I'm on the way. And she loved her own message. She does that. And she says, you are done for it. You are such a bitch. You make me feel like shit. You treat me so bad. I don't know why I put up with your shit. Corbin, how's he doing? And he says, Dom says, what? And Mackenzie says, if you don't come to your room, done. You have 5 minutes. And she says, you going to go to Kyle's, N-word? You are coming here before your room. Done. And he says, I'm not going to Kyle's. WND, I'm not chilling with you. And she says, you are coming. I'm going to find you, she says. And she says, you are a bitch. And he says, N-word, the F. And she says, I don't know what's wrong with your head. Like, you have something wrong with you, she says. You are mean for no reason every day. You think I'm happy when you do this. You make me hate myself when you do this. You make me feel like shit. I walked in the rain. You said we would hang. I'm here. I'm not leaving until you're here. And he says, no, I'm done chilling with you now. And she says, you always put your friends before me. I'm not leaving. You are fake, she says. And he says, no, I didn't till you tweaked. And she says, you better come. You have 5 minutes to come back. I'm for real about to tell your mom. I'm going to tell her about the shit you be doing to me. What does that mean? I'm gonna find you. I know. She says, all the shit you be doing to me. And she says, you F with people's head. You are such a dick. You act like you're gonna finally treat me good. Then you do this. Damn, fell for it again. I'm about to be in your room, bruh. And he says, nice. She says, you better come talk to me or this is gonna be bad. And he says, I'm not, bruh. I'm done. And she says, I don't care. You are such a dick. Call me. I'm not leaving until you call me. You trying to chill with Dev? Like, WTF is wrong with you? I don't deserve this. I let you do too much. And he says, bruh, I don't care. You're blocked now. And she says, I'm coming to Kyle's. I can't believe you. And he says, I'm not going to be there. She says, you're so mean. How can you do this to me? You should feel like effing shit. Come back and stop being a pussy. You're acting like you're 5. You can't ever face your problems. You try to be the quote unquote best, but I don't effing think millionaires treat women like shit. Dom, come back. You break my heart every day. And he says no. That's all he says. He just says no. She sends like 732 texts and then just says no. Creepy. I know. Kenzie is a demon. I know. I'm late, starting from the beginning. Hey, Angela. Okay, so she says, you break me. You are such a shitty person to me. Why can you make everyone happy but me? You don't even try, she says. You lie to me every day and you're probably with Hannah. Who's Hannah? Oh, okay. So we know he cheated with Audrey. And what was the other girl's name? Yeah, I can't remember. Who was it? I know you guys will probably remember. Who did he cheat with? He cheated with 2 of her friends, and now there's somebody named Hannah. She thinks he is cheating. Oh, Jada. Thank you, Stacy. Stacy's right, Jada. New character unlocked. Yo, Hannah, where you at? Hannah, run, girl. Dude. Yeah, Hannah, run. Okay, so she says to me, you probably lie to me every day. You lie to me every day. You're probably with Hannah. Come back and give me weed and talk to me like WTF. And he says, just go take some. She says, no. If you don't come, there's going to be a huge issue. Why can you make everyone happy but me? And she sends that 3 times, 4 times. And then she says, I'm sitting on your bed. Yo. He's actually 18. Yeah, Dom's way older. I don't think he cheated on her. I think he just broke up with her and then took her back just to shut her the F up. Kim, you know what? I can't even keep up anymore, Kim. I can't imagine Dom's mom reading these. I know. I don't want anybody to be upset because I'm reading them. Sorry. A whole different age group. It's insane. She's like 15 years old here. She's a predator. She is a predator. She says, I'm sitting on your bed. And he says, why? She says, not leaving until your ass wakes up and talks like a normal 18-year-old would. You are more childish than me, and I'm 15, she says. 15? Oh my gosh. And she says, like, you're older than that. Stop acting like Carl. And if I take weed, I'm bringing the whole jar and I'm about to just sleep over if you don't show up. He doesn't respond. And she says, like, if you don't show up soon, I'm just about to mess shit up. You honestly, probably with Hannah. Dom, if you don't come, I'm about to be so mad at you. You will be the fakest N-word ever. I can't tell you how different it will hit. You act like you're the best when you treat the person who does the most for you like shit. Answer right now. He doesn't answer. And she says, I'm about to just tell your mom. Like, and she likes her own text message. She loves her own text message. And she says, what the F is wrong with you? What drugs are you on? And he says, what do you mean? Okay, sleep over. I'll be home eventually to cuddle you. Okay, you know what? That's very, like, I've said it before, like, the way Dom acts too that's very much like setting her off. You know, he's like, oh, we'll just wait around. Wait around. You know, I'll be home to cuddle you soon. Like, just wait around. Like, I would be kind of pissed too. Did they read these texts in court? If I was her, I would have crawled under the table. No, they didn't. But I got them from the evidence package. So I got all the tea time, baby. I'm here to fill your teacup up. He's just saying stuff to shut her up. Exactly. He says, okay, sleep over. I'll be home eventually to cuddle you. And she says, no. Are you really that dumb? You think that's going to fix shit? You effed up tonight. And he says, LOL, okay, then don't. And she says, come now. You're not winning. I'm sleeping over. Get the F home. You're being slow. Swear to God. Doesn't respond. And then she says, WTF. And he says, what? And she says, why is it green? When are you coming back? I'm for real so mad at you right now. Answer. And he says, my phone died. She says, when are you coming back? Effing annoying how I have to ask you shit 30 times before you actually answer. She questions, when are you coming back? He says, I don't know. And she says, come back. If you're at Carl's, I'm going to be so mad. And you really went on D&D. Are you slow? What is wrong with you? I'm going to effing be here. Come back right now. Stop being an FAG. I literally hate you so much right now. You're so annoying, and Carl can kill himself. So can AJ. Oh, of course, you're on D&D. You're literally just a little bitch tonight. You're going to have to do a lot to fix this. Come sooner, it's going to be bad. What is going on with her tonight? You guys, like, she is mad. Oh my gosh. She's terrifying. Definitely Jodi Arias. Yo. Zero self-respect. Every time he says no, he's done with her. This is so bad. She's acting really angry tonight. So she says, come sooner, it's going to be bad. And he says, why? And she emphasizes her message. And she says, come soon or it's going to be bad again. I'm also going to try to get Carl worked. So you can come work this out with me or be a little bitch and keep hiding. You just gave the worst headache ever. I am so mad at you. And he says, why, bruh? He says, I'm just not going to be cool with you. And she says, no. Good night. I'll be waiting at 12:32 in the morning. And she says, when are you coming? I'm going to be here. Sleepy or not? And he says, I don't know. For real, it'll be pretty soon now, probably. And she says, Coles? Oh, she meant come. C-O-M-E. Really? Come. Come again. WTF. Come the F back right now. I'm for real so mad. If you sleep wherever you are, I'm not leaving. You better be here. And he says, I will be coming soon. She says, I'm so mad right now. Carl, done. You better not be cool with him anymore. Where the F are you? Soon is like 3 days for you. Dom, if you don't answer, I swear, you better come. And she questions, where the F are you? And she says, come now. She says, I'm just going to drink all your Patron. And he says, why are you mad at them? And she says, I'm literally not texting you about anything. Get off D&D. I've never been this mad at you. I could for real punch you like 20 times. And she says, but Carl and AJ, they could be dead right now. And he says, why though? And she says, why? And he says, I told you if you tweak, we're not chilling. It's funny how you're still saying that, she says. I hope Carl gets his ass robbed and beat up. And AJ can just suck a dick. Get in your car and drive the F home. And he says, I might just not have to come home. And she says, you're probably with Anne-Marie. Okay, so we have, what was the other girl's name? Hannah and Anne-Marie. Hey, Mallory. Hi, love. What the helly? Girl. She was using dabs. I think she was doing more than dabs. This could be a reflection of that. Like, she was doing shrooms, she was doing dabs, she was drinking. Who knows what else she was doing? I wouldn't put anything past her. He was probably scared of her. Yeah. Okay, so this cheating thing has become like an issue. You know, we understand that's where a lot of her like degrading self-confidence comes from, because he's cheated on her with her friends. But like, why wouldn't he cheat on her with her friends, right? Like, she's crazy, but it doesn't make it right. Way to keep him away. I think she's using some kind of amphetamines with dab. Or she's not being medicated for whatever she needs to be treated with. I agree with that, Kim. She's jealous of males, females, plants, little dirt on the ground. Can have a prescription. Yeah. So she says, you're probably with Anne-Marie. If you don't come, there's about to be a massive issue between me and you. And then she said, you told me you would make me wait, and I'm not leaving your house until you're here. You just make me want to play your shitty game. I'm about to just say F it and go to bed. My stomach and V hurts. What? She says her stomach and her V hurts. Do I need to say what that means? I'll give her some medication. Says Kim. What? So then she says, you need to effing say sorry. And he says, Kenzie, if I come home and say sorry, can we just chill like normal and smoke and stuff? Okay, so this is an instance where like he's kind of being cool and she's being, you know, like very erratic. This is like very much erratic behavior. It's normal for her, but it's not normal to us. Gender swap this. She is using classic isolation and control manipulation. She's just a spoiled effing brat. So he says, can we just smoke and stuff? And she says, if you come now. And he says, okay, I'll be home in like 10 minutes. I'm sorry, babe. Oh my gosh. You guys, the fighting, the arguing, the I'm sorry 1 minute later, like, we're not even in this relationship with them. We're in a relationship here right now watching this and reading this. But like, this is so tiring. He says, okay, I'm sorry, babe. I'm going to be home. And she says, a sorry in text means nothing. I want you to say it to my face, she says. See you in 10. And he says, okay. And he says, 5 minutes away. And she says, okay. Question mark. And he says, you want to get a ride home? And she says, WTF. And he says, what? And she says, I don't understand how you just got annoyed AF with me. And he said, N-word, I'm annoyed AF, period. And you always right by me. And she says, I guess I can leave. He says, okay, word, get a ride. Wait, so he was like, I'm coming home. I'm going to be there in 5 minutes. And then he's like, get a ride. Get a freaking ride. Oh my gosh. You guys, this is so messed up. I'm sorry. If someone did that to me, I would be like, excuse me? Here we go again. Okay, so he says, word, get a ride. And then I'm going to go back to bed or something. And she sends a blank text. And then she says, come in here while I'm waiting. He says, actually, I'm just going to go back to bed. No. And she says, no. So now you're not going to come give me a hug or a kiss? He says, never mind then. I'll just leave. And she said, I'm leaving. You can go. You can come give me a hug and a kiss. WTF. I didn't do shit. Come hug me. What the F? I can't believe you just left, so you don't have to hug me. And he says, I was mad. You could have just left me alone, but now I have to leave. Wait, let's go. Did we skip? Hold on. I want to make sure we didn't skip a day. So that was on 3/13. No, it's the same day. You guys, I'm over here thinking it's a whole ass different day because of how, but like their moods. I'm over here thinking it's like a whole different day. It's not. It's the same day. Yeah, this drama is happening the same day. So he says, I'm going to just go back to bed. She says, so now you're not going to give me a hug or a kiss goodbye? Never mind then. I'll just leave, he says. And she says, no, I'm leaving. You can come give me a kiss. WTF. I didn't do shit. Come hug me. WTF. I can't believe you just left. So you don't have to hug me. And he says, I was mad, N-word. You could have just left me alone, but now I have to leave. And she says, Dom, it wasn't that big of a deal. Just go home. Like you didn't really have to flip on me. And he says, did you leave? And she says, yeah, question mark. And he says, really? Or are you lying? And she says, why would I lie to you? You just made me leave without kissy. You made me leave without a kissy. Give me a kissy. Multiple demons. I'm feeling traumatized. I didn't do shit apart from be a psycho. Right. So obviously the police chose, yes, the police did choose these texts because it gives, like I said, a reflection of their relationship and how bad it was. Cuddle time. Even her demons have demons that want to break up with her. Jurors get to see everything in the evidence file. Correct. She had a bench trial, but they still got, well, the judge got to see everything, not the jurors. But you're right. In a regular case, she had a bench trial. So she chose for a judge to make the decision of her sentencing rather than a group of her peers. And I don't blame her, you guys, because think of it, like us, we would have been like, lock her ass up. You know what I mean? Like we would have been like, no. So, I mean, the judge still did that, but I think it would have been a lot worse for her. Maybe. I don't know. The judge was pretty bad. What the heck? She talks like a baby and then talks like a demon. I know. So she says, why would I lie to you? You just made me leave without kissy. And he says, because of that. And she says, question mark, question mark. What do you mean because of that? If you want to come get me, you can. I'm home sad AF. Answer. And he says, sorry, I didn't want to make you sad. I'm just mad as F right now. I'm literally at get-go looking up. If I go to hell, I kill myself. And she says, stop. Don't think like that, baby, please. This isn't going to matter in a couple of days. And he says, what isn't? I'm just sick of everything, sick of being frustrated, Dom says. I hate being in that house. Wait, so is he talking about his house? Because jurors would have fried her quicker. She and her parents thought that the judge would believe her. I know. Wait. He says, I just hate being at that house. Wait, I thought that he was happy at his house. They had their own place, a little shack. They can smoke, do whatever they want because of her. So he says, why do you think I try so hard to read, make money, etc.? I need to be a millionaire, says Dom, or I'll be dead. And she says, I know, sad face. You just have to wait a little longer till real estate lowers. If anyone's going to be a millionaire, it's going to be you, says Mackenzie. You're smart AF and you have the best mindset out of anyone I know. Babe, text me. And he says, you think I give an F? She's complimenting him before the house next door. Exactly. Yeah, next door. Oh my gosh. So he's like, you think I give an F? She's like, yes, I do. You just try to chill out. FaceTime me in a little, she says. Did you go back home? Question mark. Babe? And he says, yeah, I just got here. And she says, okay, good. And she says, how you doing now? You scared me. And he says, I'm still really mad. She says, sad face. Sorry. What are you doing though right now? And he says, at home. And she says, LOL, yeah, what are you doing there? He says, probably about to leave soon or smoke a wood. And she says, I want to smoke a wood If you want to get me and chill, you can. Where are you going though? And he says, I don't know. Are you up? She says, yes, babe. Thanks. Or no, text me when you're up. She says the next morning. She says, I had a weird dream. You were in it. Oh my gosh, her and her dreams. And then she sends a picture of some, like a little doll in space. And she says, you would like this one. And he says, what happened? She says, it was so weird. Like, I barely remember. I'm in the shower. I'll text you in 15. And he says, okay. She says, okay, what are you doing now? I'm out. And he says, freaking out about Corona. We're going to get hella guns. And she says, why guns? Don't stress about it. Only 48% gonna get it, and kids can't get it, and we're kids. He says, the country's gonna fall apart. And she says, the country's coming together. Stop it. FaceTime me, question mark. And he says, the country's economy is going to stop. And she says, I'm scared too. I'm just trying to look at it the best way so I don't freak out. This could be really bad, but everyone is trying to stop it. No one wants to die. So talking about the pandemic. And she says, it could, and he says, it could get wrapped up really quick. And she says, what do you mean? And he says, like, it could get solved or it could be effed. She says, yeah, it's true. I know it's going to get worse before it gets better, but do you know how many bad viruses stopped before Corona? And he says, I know, but those viruses killed way quicker. Corona doesn't kill everyone. And she says, yeah, WTF. I hate Chinese, OMG. Like, who the F looks at a bat and thinks yummy? Oh my gosh. I have nothing to say about her. Like, I'm so sick of her stupidity. Like, I'm so sick of her stupidity. She thinks she's a thug, says Kim. She thinks she's a gangster. I am so over her shit tonight, you guys. She says, who the F looks at a bat and thinks yummy? And he says, yeah, for real though. And she says, what are you doing today? LMAO, guess what? And he says, preparing. What's up? And she says, this bitch Maddie literally blocked me. Like, I'm so done with her. I want to text her to see if Alan is there to get my paycheck fixed and it's green. And he says, who knows what's going on with her? The whole country is in a crisis. We'll go to Maddie's and off her. They're so dirty sometime in these texts. Why would Dom say that? This is why the detectives freaking wanted these. He's talking about offing people. Whether he means it, you know, seriously or not, like, it's just gross. And then she says, LMAO, WTF. Can we hang today though? And I get my check fixed. Now my mom is so annoying. And he says, what's going on? She says, I'm trying to effing leave and go get my check fixed. And she's like, give me a minute to make food and get ready. That's like 3 hours for her. I'm so pissed. He says, who cares, Kenzie? Just go, chill. I'll swoop you in a little or something. And she says, can I come over? I'll walk if you don't want to get me. And he says, no, I got to do stuff. And she says, after, will you get me? And he says, yeah. She says, okay, yay. I want you to see my fit too. Look at Insta. Are you home? If you are, can you send me a pic of the tag of my bra? I need the pic like right now. And he says, I'm not. And she says, all right, I'm so mad. And he says, why? She says, I can't effing find a bra that fits me. I'm at the mall trying to find a bra, but I can't because they all don't fit. And he says, make sure to keep sanitizing. And I don't know, I'm sorry, don't wear any bras right now. And she says, I am not touching shit. And I need to worry about bras because I don't have one that fits me. They all don't fit. I could punch the F out of someone right now. And he says, I'll try to fix yours or don't wear one. And she says, I'm not wearing one right now. And he says, LOL. And she says, Insta. And can we hang out soon? And he says, when I'm done doing shit, yes. And she says, will it be late, baby? And he says, I don't know, probably soon. She says, bet. I got chocolate covered strawberries. And he says, yay. She says, I ate them fast AF. And he says, LOL. She says, I might work at Wendy's again. I don't know though. I'm also about to be home. And he says, I wouldn't even worry about a job right now. And she says, do you want a cake pop from the cute little cake shop? He says, no, I'm okay. I haven't ate anything today. And she says, I'll bring it when we can chill later. Okay, text me when you can hang. And he says, I probably won't want to eat it for real. And she says, okay, I'm still getting some. Just let me know. When are you going to be done, baby? And she questions it. Don't smoke a wood without me. And he says, I won't. She says, okay, when are you going to be done? He says, what up? I don't know if I can have you over. I'm finna kill Topher. And she says, I just want to know when you're coming and oh, what happened? Maybe we can just smoke at Fultz or Boone. He says, maybe. She says, what happened though? And she says, yeah, he's crazy. And she says, just talk to me about it in person. LOL. Can you try to come soon? Danny's weird, loud ass friends are here. And she says, babe. He says, I'm dealing with shit. I'm ready to kill someone, he says. I ain't dealing with no more bullshit, he says. Just leave me alone before I want to unalive you too. Oh no. So he's going into one of his like moods. Here we go. You guys ready for it? We're like doing this with them as we read the text messages. Her whole attitude just shifts when he says maybe. She is young, but she's unhinged, and her parents pacify her. It's a perfect cocktail for disaster, as we know. I agree, Kim. She's going to tell him to FaceTime soon. I can feel it. What is D&D? D&D is do not disturb on the phone. I think he's trying to scare her. She talks like bad baby wannabe. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Bad baby. Do not disturb. I didn't foster care for 15 minutes. Some kids can't be helped. Right. Hey, Courtney. So he says, just leave me alone before I want to unalive you too. And she says, okay, text me later. And then she says, that was on 3/14 at 5:50 p.m. And then she says at 7 p.m., hey, what's up now? He says, I'm really tired and stuff right now. I got to go get shit done. And she says, it's going to be worth it at the end, babe. And when you're done, I'll rub your back. Babe, when are you going to be home? She removes a question mark. Call me soon. I'm bored. And he says, I'm going to do some stuff right now and hit you up later. She says, okay, try not to make it too late though. I have a small surprise for you. Smiley. And he says, sweet. I told Thomas I'd go chill kicks with him today. I forgot, but we're not going there. I'm going to go chill with him for 20 to 30 minutes if that's cool. And she says, like now? If you go now, can you try to get me at 9? He says, I'm not going now. I got a couple more stops. She says, okay, I don't really care if you go. Just can you try to be back before 9:30 or just bring me? And she says, Dom. And he says, I'm about to leave. I'm about to be with him. And she says, okay, bet. Can you come get me at 9:30? Let's Boone too. Babe, it's about to be 9:30. And she questions it. Confused why you're not texting me back now. She removes a question mark and she says, question mark, question mark. And then she says, okay, now it's past 9:30. I don't know why you start not answering right when we're supposed to hang out. And that was at 9:32 p.m. And then he says, what are you doing? WTF? What? I didn't say I'd be there. And she says, you said you were going to be there for 30 minutes. And you said we would hang out. I told you not to be late. Are you on the way? And he doesn't respond. And then she likes her own message. And then she says, text back. Removes an exclamation. Dom? Question mark, question mark. I don't know why the F you tell me we can hang out, then you ignore me. And he says, why you always do this? I'm about to leave. And she says, that's all you had to say. And he says, I'm really effing stressed. And she says, I told you I'll give you a massage when I'm with you. And remember, you still have a surprise too, so hopefully that helps. I'm ready, by the way. And he says, let me go home first and talk to my mom. She was tweaking. And she says, that's fine. Do you want me to just get a ride over so you don't have to leave again? Can you try to be quick though, please? And he says, yeah. She says, okay, let me know when I can come though. Are you about to be home? Can I come? And he says, yes, leave in 10. And that was on 3/14 at 10:02 p.m. And then she says, I just found a funny ass video. I'm going to show you when I'm there and I can come in 15. And then she says, Dom, I'm coming right now. And then that was at 10:18. So she clearly was there. The next morning, she says, morning, baby. He says, morning, babe. And she says, how did you sleep? He says, all right. And she says, I'm so tired. What are you doing today, babe? I'm mad again. And he says, why? She says, like, I can be cool with Megan. She makes me so mad. Like I asked her to chill and she makes up 30 different excuses. Like WTF, I'm done trying with her. And he says, I guess she don't want to chill. And she says, blank text. And then he says, what was even her excuse? And he says, Mackenzie says, there was like 30. She said she's with Maddie and Abby. I'm cool with both of them. Then she said she was going to Maddie's, and that was a lie. And Dom says, I'm driving. I'll text soon. And then she says, then she said they're sleeping over. I'm so mad. And okay, babe. And then she says, I hate my house so much now. My mom won't let me get 2 new pillows. And he says, I'll take you if I have time. And she says, I don't have money, Dom. Like I wake up with an effed up neck every day and I hate my room. I want it to change so bad. And he says, pillows are hella cheap. She says, my check is coming into my account on Tuesday, but I'm cleaning right now. Maybe that will help it look better. I don't know. If you're free today, just let me know. I'm so stressed out. And he says, just switch it around. Your room is sick AF. It's so big in the walk-in closet. I'd switch with you. And it's on the 2nd floor. And she says, I want to switch it, but I don't know what to do. And thanks, babe. Somehow you always know how to make me feel better about shit. And he says, I got you, babe. And she says, text me in a little. I'm going to try to fix it, but I'm stressed AF. Maybe you can come over for a little. He says, me come over? I thought you hated your house. And she says, I do, but if you're here, I'll tolerate it after I clean and shit. Can we please hang out? You can just scoot me and we'll just chill. And he says, I'll let you know, babe. And she says, okay, I'm still cleaning my room. Ugly AF. Holy shit, just try to hang out with me ASAP. I'm for real going to flip the F out. My mom is literally annoying AF. I do not know what happened to her. She is a straight psycho. Okay, so here we go. She's talking about her mom, Natalie Shirilla. He and other family members were selling rugs. Yeah. And I'm on the phone. I can't see it. When I look at my teeth, I thought it was a bug. Her parents are so relieved she's not living at their house. Now she doesn't have to worry about pillows. Someone says she called her dad a woman beater, so that's another possible element of her home life. I absolutely believe that. I believe what she saw around her environment is what created her. This is very just wild. Now we know where she gets it from. You guys watch the previous lives. Watch the one. Okay, part 1 is with her dad and her texting. It changed everything for us here. We were like, wow, this makes sense now. Her dad was selling marijuana. Yeah, he was. I'm just saying, allegedly, but my opinion only. Okay, anyways, let's continue. So she says, my mom's a straight psycho. And he says, you must get it from her. Was that not what we were just saying, dude? Like, he was heating the dabs for her. It's just Mary Jane. I feel like, is that a substance that makes you like this crazy to be in a relationship? I feel like there was something else. Yeah. I really wonder what her sister's like. Her sister's very quiet. I got a lot of catching up. Yes, Kim. This is part 5. It's crazy. Okay, so she said, Dom says, you must get it from her. And she says, I'm at Target looking for pillows. She's being so effing annoying, like she's touching everything and being so annoying. You better be joking. And he says, little psycho, babe. And she says, no. And he sends a blank text. And then she says, I don't know why you thought that would make me flip out any less. Like, I'm not laughing at all. And he says, okay, I'll text you when you're not flipping out. And she says, as soon as I'm out of my house, I'm going to be chilling. Like, please get me soon. I don't care if it's only for a little. Like, please get me away from my house before I flip out. Her parents let her do whatever she wanted. Why does she hate them so much right now? Dom, let me wear your skin. I know. It's funny how she can recognize when other people are being annoying, but not herself. Oof. I don't like the way she talks to her parents, and I don't like how she talks about her mom either. We've talked about this before. So she says, come get me from my house. He says, go to the park or something. And she says, I know you didn't just tell me to go to the park. And then he says, how can you get mad at that? Just go smoke a bong there. It's sunny AF outside. And she says, the muddy, cold one, there's there's going to be so fun alone. That's going to be so fun alone. I'm just going to go swing, she says. It's not nice out at all. And Dom says, okay, Debbie Downer. And she says, it's almost like you're trying to piss me off. And he says, I'm not. And she says, you call me psycho, then you tell me to go to the park, like, question mark. And he says, it's like you're trying to be pissed off. And she says, can you please just come get me? I literally just will sit in your room if you don't want to bring me with you. And he says, and yeah, it was a joke. You heard of a joke? I love them. And she says, like, if I'm in my house any longer today, I'm going to flip out. Can you please just get me? I'll literally just sit in your room if you don't want to bring me with you. And he says, no, not right now. And she says, oh my God, when? I will literally just sit in your room. You don't have to be around me. What? She's not a nice person, period. You guys, she wants to go sit in his room and she's like, I don't even need to see you. You don't even need to hang out with me. What is like this? Why? What's the point of even going over there and hanging out? She's just used to manipulating him. She's like, I'm going to go sit in your room and just sit there and wait for you. But don't even pay attention to me. I don't even need to see you. I'm just going to sit there like a psychopath. Her threats were empty until they weren't. Period. That's right, Kim. And she says, I literally will just sit in your room. You don't have to be around me. And he says, I don't know when, even if I can / want to. She says, you don't even have to get me. OMG, I can just get a ride over and stay in your room. I need to get out of my house. I'm flipping out. I'm getting George's, which is food. And she says, question mark. And he says, what? And she says, can you try to hang with me later? Like, if you really can't, I won't be mad. I'm not flipping out anymore. I keep getting anxiety attacks. And he says, okay, I'll let you know if I can or want to. And she says, okay, babe, text me when you're not busy. And he doesn't respond. And then she says, I'm so scared. And he says, the corona is already getting better in China. They have a way more dense, dirty population. And there is an act that the government has to provide food for the states. They're not just going to let everyone starve over a virus that is barely killing people, said Dom. That's worse than the virus. And we just have hella food and stuff over here. We'll be completely fine. The grocery store probably closing for a little bit, and then it will last like 2 weeks. So if everyone is quarantined for a month, then it's going to completely blow over. It's probably best they close the food stores right now so shit gets back to better quick. And Mackenzie says, but what if people run out of milk or like important shit like that? And then she says, I feel a little better. He says, milk is barely shit. We have so many potatoes and noodles and shit that'll last. And you love potatoes and noodles, LOL. And she says, and he says, like, for real, we're totally going to be fine. And she says, I feel better now. Thank you, baby. Oh my God, I'm puking my brains out. Literally. Like puking. I'm just like, really? That's how you talk about the pandemic? Let's not forget her furry Prada slippers. I hope her mom sees this. Uh-oh. Natalie, Sharilla, are you watching this? Please report to the principal's office. 2 weeks, right? Not the warm milk. Says, I feel better now. Thank you, baby. And then Dom says, for real though, if shit really did hit the fan, we have hunting shit. Deer and squirrel smack. Never had squirrel, but that shit probably would smack. What? Is he talking about eating a squirrel? Oh my God. I can't do this. I feel like I need a drink. They're both idiots. I have to keep reminding myself they're teenagers. And she says, squirrel? Question mark. LMAO. And he says, there is hella of them. And what you gonna get from eating a squirrel? I mean, they ain't dirty like cats and bats that eat mice and weird shit. And she says, LMAO, true. And he says, so we ain't got to worry about no pandemic. And she says, F the Chinese. Wow. And she keeps saying foul words I'm not going to repeat. And then he says, they do make my Jordans though. And she says, I guess they're a little cool. Text me after you shower. Dirty little, dirty. I was a dumb teenager, but I wasn't like this. Squirrel. You guys, please do not eat squirrels. Please, whatever you do. She would be the one who buys up all the TP in the store. I'm so sick of Mackenzie. He says, wait. She says, text me after your shower. And he says, I'm going to take a crap first. What's with him in that? And then she says, LMAO, I ate hella pizza. And he says, that sounds smack. She says, if we hang, can you bring some Giorgio's? And he says, what? And she says, I can bring you some. I'm about to go be with Maddie. We can hang later tonight when you're done, though. Babe, do you want to scoop me and Maddie and Boone? Why are you not answering? And he says, maybe, let me do stuff. And she says, are you still doing runs? LOL. Runs are when he's selling rugs. Text me while you're in the shower. I'm sorry. That's so toxica vibes. Like, text me in the shower. Text me right now in the shower. Are you texting me in the shower? Are you texting me in the shower? That's hilarious. Okay, so she said, are you still doing runs? LOL. And he says, not anymore now. And then she says, want to scoop us and Boone? Babe. And he says, I don't know. I'll let you know. And she says, let me know soon. We bored AF. What about now? Babe, text me back. And he says, let me see. And she says, just come scoop us now. He says, I had to do more stuff. She says, you have to, or you already did. LMAO, WTF. I don't know why you just hang up. Like, you have nothing to do. Why can't you chill? He says, because I don't know if I'm trying to chill and you keep bothering me about it. It ain't gonna make me want to anymore. He's so, okay, you guys. I feel like he doesn't even like her. But why did he stay with her? Like, I feel like he doesn't even like her, and he's tried to break up with her a million times. They get into all these fights. Scooping and popping sounds like a new song. Can you scoop? Can you scoop, please? I think if I said that to someone in my life, they would be like, what do you mean? Scoop you off the ground? Like, what do you mean? I'm surprised he didn't tell his friends he went to the bathroom before. Okay, so he says, I don't know if I'm trying to. And she says, I'm not bothering you, Dom, LMAO. And he says, I might actually have to leave. I don't know if I can be here with Topher. That's his brother. And she says, I feel bad. He's being weird lately. I hope it gets better, though, soon. If you need somewhere to go, you can come here. And he says, might just take the Patron to Folt. And she says, a little risky. When are you going? If you want company, bring me and Maddie. I don't want you to get effed and drive home bad. And then she says, babe. And he says, okay. And she says, when are you going? And he says, I don't know. I'm just slapping on right now. And she says, LOL, of course you are. Should I get a tat? And he says, no. You too young. That shit could stretch out and you could not like it. And she says, true. Maddie wants me to get one. Check Insta. He's like, what's on it? And she says, Sharpie tat ideas. But I kind of don't want to get one. And he says, yeah, I don't know. Those are just kind of simple. And she says, I don't want some crazy shit as my first. I want a small, cute one. I might go get the finger one tonight or soon. He says, how are you going to get a tattoo tonight? Everyone about to be quarantined, yo. And she says, Maddie knows someone. She said they do good. They did Maddie's chest one. He says, it's your choice. You're always super nervous about stuff, though, and you usually just have someone decide for you. And she says, oh, my God, you know me so well. So cute. I don't know. I'm thinking about it, and it's a finger one. It'll be gone when I'm an adult. And he says, I should get a face tat. She says, no, you will ruin your cute face, baby. He says, it'll make me look scary. She says, it honestly depends on what you will get. He says, I'll get some crazy shit. She says, are you for real? Like a little heart under your eye? And he says, no, if I did probably something over my eyebrow or under my eye or on my neck. And she said, a neck tat? But I want to get it, but I'm really scared. The one on my finger. I want to go, but I feel like it's going to hurt. And he says, LOL. And she says, I might just say F it because of Corona coming. He says, we ain't going to die from it. LMAO. No one's really dying from it. And she says, and I can be like, I got it when Corona was going around. Do you think I should? I'm scared it's going to hurt. He says, LOL, I don't know, probably not right now. And she says, I might go. I want to do something risky. Maddie's getting a cute under boob one. He says, what boob? And she says, it's going to hurt like a bitch on the finger. He says, really? I thought it'd be fine. And she sends a picture of herself. And then she says, yeah, it's going to go away in a couple years and it's going to be cute for now. And he sends, which ones? And she says, what do you mean, which ones? And he says, which one? And she says, what do you mean? Which what? And he says, which one? She says, if you're talking about Maddie's tit, I'm going to be mad for real. It's weird. Dom, I swear to God, WTF. And he said, which one? And she says, if you don't answer. And he said, what? And she says, I'm for real about to be mad at you. And he said, why? She says, why the F you think it's funny to talk about my friend's boob? Like, haha, so funny. And he says, what boob? And then he sends a blank text and he says, bruh, I just realized boob is a funny ass word. And she says, what are you, 9? You're about to make me freak out. And he says, 2. And she says, what are you on? Like, what the F is wrong with you? Do you ever try to make me freak out over shit like this? How do I know you're not trying to flirt with her? Like, honestly, it just makes me mad AF, like WTF. He says, how would I be trying to flirt with her when I'm texting you? She says, you don't have to say that shit. I shouldn't even have said anything to you if I knew you were going to be a creep about it. Like, I don't want you asking about my friend's boob. And he says, okay, I'll just talk to you tomorrow. I'm going to go chill with Carl or something. And she says, Nigga, Carl? Are you kidding me? Dom, I swear to God, if you chill with Carl, I'm going to be so mad. She says, text me right now. You are literally such a DICK for no reason sometimes. And he says, I'm trying to text right now. Chill. And he says, why? I can chill with Carl if I want to. And she says, it's just annoying because we've been asking you to hang out. And when you're with Carl, you effing ignore me and get into dumb shit. Maybe I'd want you to be with Carl if you didn't ignore me the whole time you were there. He says, well, I don't know if I can hang out with you now since you're tripping about Maddie's boob. She says, I'm not tripping. I just don't want you to talk about that shit. Like, how don't you see it's weird? Like, of course, it's going to make me feel uncomfortable, you talking about another girl's boob. And he says, which one? And she says, come get us right now. That one you should do. And he says, LMAO, what? And she says, that which one? You can come now. And he says, no, I'm already about to be at Tyler's with AJ. She says, are you serious? I'm mad, for real. Thanks. And he says, I'm kidding. We can chill tonight, though. Oh, he says, we can't chill tonight, though. She says, why are you trying to make me mad? Why? Question mark, question mark. She dislikes it. And then she says, answer. He says, I'm tired and you're already mad. And she removes a question mark and she removes another question mark. She says, I'm not already mad. He says, yeah, you are mad. She says, no, I'm not. I just said I'm not. If you keep talking about weird shit and telling me you're with Carl and AJ, I'll be mad though. And he says, okay. Dude, she's nuts. He didn't even try to talk about her friend's boob. Like, she's getting so jealous and crazy. She should just get her mouth shut. I'm going to go ahead and assume her mother is signing the waiver at the tat shop. He's totally effing with her because he triggers her so easily. She's trying to he's trying to manipulate her. I do feel like he does try to manipulate her sometimes. He plays into it. If you sleep, she will find you. She's so, like, her self-confidence, you know what I mean? She's like really insecure. It makes her really jealous, narcissistic, borderline. They're each addicted to the sadism they inflict on each other. Exactly, Lisa. I think that Dom didn't break up with Mackenzie because he knew she would snitch on him for his illegal activities. Yes, because she threatened to unalive herself. And because I think he was selling substances and then her dad was selling substances and then she wanted to be involved with the substances. So I think, you know, it was just like this very much this like drug toxic relationship that is just clearly it did not end in a good situation. She literally drove her car 100 miles per hour in a building. Like, let's not forget, you guys, as crazy as these texts are, like, she literally did that. She literally did that. That's really crazy. He says, you did say I'm mad for real. And she says, I really don't know what's wrong with you tonight. Like, it's almost like you're trying to make me freak out. I told you I'm not mad 3 times. And he says, okay, I believe you. And she says, I was mad when you were being weird. Now I am not. And he says, okay, cool. And she says, NIGGA just go the F to bed if you're going to be mean. And he says, you mad? ? I thought you weren't mad. And she says, I don't know why you're trying to get at me. Like, I don't care. Go to bed. And he says, okay, I'm going to chill with Carl first, though. And she sends a blank text. Good for you. Text me when you're not being annoying, she says. And I'm not saying sorry to Carl. And then she says, did you block me? Unblock me, she says. And then she says, unblock. Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? And then he says, yeah. And she says, okay, good night. Thank you. And then she says, everything is still green though. Babe, text me if you're up. I'm about to do it. OMG. I did it. I know you blocked me again. I need to talk to you. And he says, no. And she says, OMG. And he says, I'm sleeping. She says, Dom, I literally got a tat. It hurt like an effing bitch and my mom doesn't know. Babe, you need to answer me. Dom, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. Can you answer? And he says, what? She says, at 2, can you get me? I'm so stressed. What if I made a mistake? I'm for real crying. Babe, please help me. Please answer. Dom, answer, please. He says, no, I told you not to get it. And Mackenzie says, you said it's up to me. You really not going to help me? And he says, what is there to help with? She says, what the F happened to you? What do you mean I'm effing crying? I need you right now. Please help me. I'm flipping out. And he says, bruh, I don't know why'd you do that. And she says, it's cute, but I don't know if I want it anymore. She's so ridiculous. She's crying about her tattoo. Hey, Ruth. Good to see you, love. Look, let's hook her up with Wade. Chef's kiss. The dramatics. There are dramatics. What a brat. She's perfect for Wade to kiss. Okay, so he says, I told you not to do that. And she says, it's cute. I don't know if I want it anymore. I'm so stressed out. Why are you being so mean to me? I'm telling you, I need your help and you can't be there for me. I was literally crying last night because I was like, what if Dom can't hold my hand anymore? Babe, help me scratch it off today. Okay, she is insane. She goes and gets his finger tat and now she's like, I'm going to scratch it off. Unhinged is a good word. Yeah. Can you imagine being Dom though, having to go through that day after day? No, we're going through it here. And I'm like, just block her, for crying out loud. Just freaking block her. Scratch it off. Yeah. She says, babe, help me scratch it off today. And he says, you can't do that. She says, I need to find a way to get it off. Like, I like it, but I don't. I just need to talk to you today. I'm not okay right now. I'm going to tell my mom soon. And you and my mom are the people I want to like it. I want you to still hold my hand. I need to talk to you. He says, I'll just get a finger tat. We can be twins. And she says, I told my mom, babe, can we talk soon? Dom says, what did she say? Mackenzie says, well, I was bawling my eyes out. And Dom says, LMAO. And she says, she was okay with it, just scared about it getting infected. And Dom says, LMAO. Mackenzie says, you and her are the only people I want to like it. Can you pick me up soon? You can drop me off after a little. And he said, probably not. She says, please, I want to show you and talk to you soon. Literally, just for a little. I need a hug too. Just hang with me for an hour because I'm going to hang with AJ and Joey today. And Dom says, they actually answered. Mackenzie says, yes, at 5. Can you please come for a little though? For like an hour, please, babe? And he says, no, I got to do shit anyways. She says, later today then. If you were serious about wanting to be twins with me, with the tat, I'll for real be happy. And he says, yeah, but what do I get? And she says, what if you get a star or like a little smiley face? It would be cute. And maybe around 7 or 8, you can scoop me and we can hang. Texts are still green for some reason. And he says, yeah, I don't know. And she says, just let me know soon. I'm trying to calm myself down. Do good today, babe. Hit me up when we can hang. He says, Topher is moaning again, like TF. And she says, oh God, that's effed up. I feel bad. Just try to listen to loud music or something. And Dom says, this is what we're doing now. And he sends a picture. And she says, LOL, is that your mom's bathroom? Who did that whole kitchen setup? And he says, me. She says, LMAO, so you about to just kick it down there today? Are you free right now, babe? And she questions it. And he says, no, I left the house. She says, okay, tonight let's hang. He says, maybe. She sends a blank text. She says, I will give you 3 kissy, maybe more if we hang out. Dude, I don't freaking want your kisses. Yuck. She was just controlling, annoying, and as cruel in her text messages to mom. Yeah, we did read the text message between Dom's mom and Mackenzie. So that was like part 1 or 2. Definitely go replay and watch. She says, I will give you 3 kissy. And she sends a screenshot. And he says, Nugget, LMAO. Remember when we'd say rar? And she says, LMAO, Megan said that 20 times today. Can we chill soon? He says, can we just chill tomorrow? And she says, what are you doing today? We can if you really can't chill. She says, I kind of wish we could today, though. Babe, why can't we chill today? Dom, text me back. And he says, me and Blair are booning. What does that mean, you guys? Who knows? What is that code for? Booming? No, booning. Like Sarah Boone. Booning, BOONING. Is that even a thing? Okay, let's move on. She says, can I come? I'm bored. AJ and Joey canceled. I've been asking you to boon for days. Dom, answer my text and change it back so your texts are blue. Question mark, question mark. And he says, chill with Megan. She says, wow, thanks for the idea. And he says, and I like it better. And she says, I'm for real about to be mad at you. I don't. She says, change it back. You're going to make me freak out. And he says, okay, I will. And she says, it's effing mean. Change it back right now. It don't say you did. He says, I did. She says, now it says, like that green bullshit makes me mad. Do not do that shit to me again. I don't know if you're really trying to hang, but it would be super nice if you were. And he says, okay, I'll let you know, babe. She says, okay, have fun. And then she says, unblock me on Insta. And he says, I did. She says, I know. You left me on scene. He says, because I texted you on IG. She says, no, you left me on read on Insta. I want you to answer on Insta. I said, can you just let me come over? We both know Blair isn't going to leave before 9. And Dom says, oh, I don't know. He could be chilling for a minute. And she says, well, I could just come if he's going to leave soon anyways. She says, I don't know if he's just going to let us chill. She says, you just said you guys be chilling for a while. You said you would try to make time for me and you have time right now. And Dom says, I said we should just chill tomorrow. And Mackenzie says, I know if we chill tomorrow, it's going to be at 5 or 9. I want to hang out early. And you said you would try. Just let me come. I'll literally only be there for an hour because Thomas gets you tonight. Sad face. Dom says, I won't chill with him for that long. She says, I have a cute outfit today, Dom. I wanted you to see it. So then she says, so we can't chill at all today? How about after you go to Thomas's house, I sleep over my house, then we can go to yours in the morning? Dom? And he says, maybe. She says, did Blair finally leave? Babe? Dom, just let me come over. Text me back. And he says, I'm driving. She says, why is red off? Dom, what the F is going on with you? Turn red receipts back on right now. He says, I didn't know. It's off for you too. She says, turn it on. It's off right now and I'm really trying not to freak out. Click info and turn red on. And he says, okay. Dude, she is like crazy. She's like tracking his location. She's like, turn your red receipts on. Like, how were they dating for 4 years? Lisa says, I love your channel. Thanks for the messages. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Lisa. She's such a stalker. Sarah Boone is so hot. She's twisted. WTF. How about I sleep inside your skin so I'm here when you wake up? If she's not on rugs, she should be. I think she is, you guys. So he says, okay. And she says, and can you get me now? We can chill till you go to Thomas's house. And he says, I'm driving though. And he says, I'm really effing mad now too. And she says, why are you mad? It's still off. When you have a second, turn it back on, please. Oh my gosh. She's like, turn on your red receipts right now. Right now. I need to know what you're doing. My receipts are blue. Dude. Sorry. You're like, where did Melly go? I thought I felt a bug on me. Not Mackenzie. No, just kidding. My receipts are blue. She's nasty. He says, when you have a sec, turn it back on, please. I think it turned off because you made the text green. He says, okay, it's on now. And she says, really? You can scoop me now and hang with me till you go to Thomas's house, please. Question mark. He says, maybe. She says, LMAO, Dom, it's kind of something that has to happen now because you're going to get there at like 9, right? So you could come over now. We have more time. Please, baby. And she questions it. Dom, answer. It's going to be 9 soon. And he says, I was eating. She says, okay, well, can you scoop me I'll dip at 9, please. He says, it's already late. She says, yeah, but there's still time. It's not 9 yet. We still have a little time to hang. I can get a ride over and home. Dom, please, Dom, there's time. Answer, please. Question mark. You're declining. It's too late to effing hang with me. Then it should also be late to hang with anyone else. And he says, I'm driving. And she says, how are you driving, then eating 2 seconds later? Then come get me and drop me off at 9. Like there is time. Then we can just talk on the phone. He says, Kenzie, I'm really ticked off easy today. She says, we can just chill tomorrow. Just promise me we can chill early. And he says, okay, maybe later I'll come to your house. She says, babe, promise? And you deserve a night with the boys, LOL. And if you come, I'm going to be happy AF. And he says, okay. She says, babe, sleep over. Then in the morning, we can go to your house together. And then she says, you left me on red. He says, I'm probably going to go smoke with Ashish tonight. And she says, can I just come with you guys when you smoke? Like, I want to see you, Dom. I thought you were coming over for once. Text me back. And he says, I'm sorry. This is a once in a lifetime chance. Almost all the homies come over. She says, like, I clean my room. We both know you're not sorry. And then bring me, Dom. It's not that hard. He says, Kenzie, I literally told you I don't want to chill tonight. I'm not even home yet. She questions it. And she says, this is so annoying. You get my hopes up by saying you're going to maybe do shit. Then you just say no every time. I want to see you. It's been like 2 days. 2 whole days, you guys. 48 hours. Oh my goodness. She couldn't even do it. So eating, how old is your sister? That's too close to me. So she says, it's been 2 whole days. Sometimes I feel like you make time for everyone but me, she says, sad face. Tomorrow morning, we're chilling 1000%. And he says, I always say maybe though. And yeah, Ashish's always been like my best friend. And she says, we're chilling tomorrow though. He says, okay. And she says, it's whatever. At least my room is clean, I guess. Don't say you're going to come see me if you know you're not, because I got really excited. He says, okay, well, you keep trying to chill when I say tomorrow, and I'll usually just say I'll try or maybe, so you can't get that upset. She says, it's cool, I guess. Just gives me anxiety. Just promise we're chilling tomorrow morning. And he says, yeah. She says, say promise, baby. He says, okay, I promise. She says, okay, maybe we can FaceTime before you go to bed. And he says, okay, babe. And then she says, what are you doing now, babe? He says, looking at Bud. She says, want to FaceTime now? He says, I'm with Smeesh. And Mackenzie says, I thought he couldn't smoke. Dom says, he can tonight because it's closed. And she said, damn, that's really crazy. He's probably going to get really fried. He's probably going to get really fried. And then she sends a screenshot of something. Wait, let me check what day that was. That was on 3/16 at 10:54. And then she sends a screenshot of something at 11:04. And she says, I blocked him. And he says, I'll look in a sec. Mackenzie says, he literally called me some F shit for saying your opinion boof. I left him on red. Then he was like trying to get me a reaction. She's sending a screenshot of someone's text messages, but I can't see. Oh. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I clicked on that, and so it closed out of the text messages. Oh. Sorry. Hold on. I just closed out of it completely. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Sorry, you guys. I just lost my page. No. Hold on. Let me go back. Oh, crap. If I lost my page, we're going to be lost. Because there's 31,000 pages. I'm like, there's so many pages. Okay, let me hold on. 2, 4, 7. Sorry guys, I closed out of it. Maybe that'll be a good place to stop. Hold on. Okay, so she's talking about the virus. Hold on, let me see if I can find my spot. If not, I'll end this live and we can continue tomorrow. Sorry, I have to scroll. We've been through a lot. We're almost at 3,000 pages. Sorry, I'm just scrolling till we get to the page that I was at. Remind me not to scroll out of there again. Okay, I found it. I knew I would find it. Sorry, hold on. Okay. That's what I get for being nosy. I try to click on the Snapchat picture, but I can't click on them in the text. I have to go through them in a different file. Okay, so she says, okay. She's talking about the tattoo here. My bad. My bad. Oh, we've been reading through a lot. You guys are like sleeping. Don't sleep. Wait, what part was I on? The Boonin part? We skipped that part. Where he went through that part? Oh, she was sending a text. Okay. I need to write down what number we are on next time. Wait, can you guys even see? Oh, you guys can't even see. My bad. You're like, hello? No, I can't remember what page. That's why. Okay, so she said turn it on. Turn on your do not disturb. Okay. She says, so we have more time, please, baby. How are you eating and then driving 2 seconds later? Okay, we're close. Sorry, guys. I closed out of it and there's 31,000 pages. Oh. Sometimes I feel like you make time for everyone but me. I don't want to repeat the stuff that we've already read. Just gives me anxiety. Want to FaceTime now? I thought you said he couldn't smoke. He says he can tonight because it's closed. She says, damn, he's probably going to get fried. Okay, here we go. Here's a screenshot. And she says, I blocked him. We did already read this. He says, I'll look in a sec. He literally called me dumb. Okay. So there's a screenshot. Then she says, they spam adding me. He says, GAY. She says, right, I block all of them. Maybe you can still sleep over. Can you guys see the text? Okay, yeah, you can. Like after you guys smoke. And she says, Dom? And she says, answer me. She says, text me. She says, I guess you're sleeping. Good night, babe. I'll see you tomorrow morning. And he says, we're all chilling at 5:44 a.m. And she says, we hanging out when you're up. He says, but only for a little. She says, what do you mean only for a little, Dom? I want to hang out for a good amount of time. He says, I'm kidding. She says, oh, okay, want to chill around 10:30 so I can get ready? And he says, I'm ready. She says, I'm about to be ready. Dom, can I come? LMAO. He says, yeah. She says, okay, on my way. She says, morning, babe, the next morning. She says, are you up? Babe, nail salon's just closed. She said, guess your shit ain't getting fixed. She said, I'm so sad. He said, that's tough. She says, I'm with Megan right now. And he says, I'm taking a crap. She says, every time. Bruh, Megan just told me that some shit that AJ said about me and you. Why is AJ telling people that me and you don't FUCK? What? Thanks, Jeremy. So she says, why is AJ telling people that me and you don't F? Like they're not having schmecks. Yes, they do. The drama. Exactly. She says, I'm for real about to be so mad right now. He says, I don't know. That's random AF. Are you sure he's saying that? She says, Megan just effing told me. She says, Dom says, bruh, I don't know. I mean, we don't. Wait, so she says they weren't having sex, but she was like pregnant. Remember? Well, she wasn't pregnant, but she was like, I'm scared. I'm going to be pregnant. But then she says they're not. When is she not mad asking for a friend? Like hardly ever. So he says, bruh, I don't know. I mean, we don't. And Mackenzie says, what do you mean? And Dom says, I'm 18. We don't. And Mackenzie says, wow. That's how you're going to be. Oh, so he's like, we don't do anything, but they do. Because he's 18 and she's 15. Because he could go to jail. Exactly, Kim. I forget that he's 18. So she says, that's how you're going to be. Are you trying to make me cry? You better say sorry for calling me a bitch. After all I do, you call me a bitch. You're being mean. I do not deserve you to do any of this to me. As soon as you can hang, you need to let me know. Also, I gave you hella freedom. The only thing you can't do is talk to other girls, and that's literally not hard. And then she says, come get me soon, babe. Dom? And he says, what? She says, do you want to hang soon? Are you still around Megan's house? He says, I'm not. She says, well, do you want to chill soon? I could still get a ride. I want to hang. He says, I don't know if I'm trying to hang. Mackenzie says, you said later, though. What are you doing now? And Dom says, same stuff. I don't want to chill, though. She says, babe, sad face, maybe later, like around 7 or 8. Babe? LMAO, I just seen Mr. Bent. And Dom says, I'm mad. I always see him. I'm trying to order a sub online for like 20 minutes. Mackenzie says, I broke a nail and it made my actual nail split. Dom says, this shit is gay. I'm just trying to go inside. Mackenzie says, there's blood everywhere. And yeah, I would be scared to DoorDash. He says, I'm not DoorDashing. I'm using the effing Penn Station app. Mackenzie says, I'm on the way to getting fixed right now. I'm wearing a mask. Oh, damn. What are you getting? Check Insta. My nail is hurting so bad. What are you doing? And then she says, would you want to chill at 8:30 or 9? And then she says, babe, I'm getting my nails done. What are you doing? Why are you ignoring me? Why, Dom? Text me back. Like 2 hours, really? Why are you ignoring me? He says, I was eating. I don't know why those other messages weren't showing up earlier. She says, oh, really? Can we hang? He says, yeah, that's why I didn't answer the phone. I felt it ring earlier. He says, I don't know, maybe. Not right now. And she says, oh, maybe. Are you home? Bruh, I can't even tell you how many times the guy doing my nails effed them up. I was getting so mad, and now one of my fingers is in so much pain. Babe, text back. And she says, can we hang before it's too late? Or we can just chill tomorrow. He says, I'll let you know. She says, what are you doing now? Because it's already kind of late. Will you let me know by 9:30? Oh my God, what if you sleep over? And he says, I think I'm about to watch Dragon Ball Z with Angelo. She says, can I come watch with you guys? It's okay if you want bro time. He says, yeah, I think I'd rather just watch it with him. He keeps turning her down. Like, he always wants to hang out with his friends, with his brother. Like, he's so over her. Blood from a broken nail. Yeah, what a crybaby she is, says Kim. She needs a chill pill. Hi, Lily. Good to see you. He says, yeah, I think I'd just rather watch it with him. He's always hanging out with his friends and his brother. Like, why didn't he just break up with her? He's just not that into you, bruh. He was done long ago. Okay, so then why are they still together? She's a little, I know. It's so sad she can't take a hit. Wait, a hint, not a hit. Not like a boom, boom, boom hit, like a hint. Of course, haven't found any socials of Dom. Yeah, Mackenzie's family didn't even want her Instagram up. She won't let him go. And they're only like 15 and 18. How sad. He says, yeah, I think I'd rather just watch it with him. She says, but for real, come sleep over, baby. Oh shit, let me write down this page because what if I get lost again? We get lost in Mellyverse. Okay, so she says, but for real, come sleep over, baby. Can we just hang out tomorrow, babe? I'm about to be so mad. And he says, maybe tomorrow. Why? She says, I haven't ate all day. Okay, then I'm going to ask my mom to make me mashed potatoes. Then she makes them. I'm excited I have to eat them. Then I look at them and can already tell they're different. I effing take a bite and they were like watered down and all weird. Yay, now my dinner is lemon water. What an ungrateful little snatch. You know what I mean? She has anger issues. She does. Her mom's like cooking her food and she's being so ungrateful. I could see her threatening him to the cops because of their ages. It's so bad. This is the worst relationship I have ever seen. Like, other than the ones I've been in, like some of them. She takes way too many. I could see her threatening. Yeah. The worst pain. Yeah. So she says, yay, my dinner is now lemon water. And he says, so then you learn to make something for yourself. Don't just not eat and complain. That attitude will kill you. Just go make something else, says Dom. She says, I can actually make a lot of effing things myself. And Dom says, then do it. She says, I don't like when you say shit like that. I know you're not trying to be mean, but like, stop. Dom says, maybe something you know, or make something new, make whatever. Like, you're just complaining. Go make more food. Mackenzie says, I was craving mashed potatoes. She says, I'm about to for real be mad right now. He says, make mashed potatoes. She says, did you want to sleep over, babe? He says, probably not. She says, okay, maybe another day or something. And he says, okay, babe. She says, can we chill tomorrow early? Okay, so she's like, maybe another day. And he's like, yeah, another day. And then she's like, tomorrow early in the morning, 9 a.m. You could give her the entire planet and she'd moan it wasn't yeah. Okay, so she says, can we chill tomorrow early? And he doesn't respond. And then she says on 3/19, good morning at 9:23 a.m. Hang soon. Dude, unless we like legit make plans, don't text me at 9 like hang soon. Let me drink my coffee. You notice when he has control, she settles her butt down. So bad. I feel like that's very like abusive in this relationship. So she says, hang soon at 10:37 a.m. Corona is airborne now. Babe, when you're up, text. And he says, I know it's been airborne. Should I shave the beard? And she says, mm-hmm. He says, hard decision, right? She says, LOL, you will look really cute either way. Yeah, for real. Can I come over soon? I just got out of the shower. And he says, I gotta do stuff, babe. Read, workout, shower, eat, and trap. Trap? Does that mean sell substances? So he says trap. And then she says, can I drive around with you today though, please? Babe, Dom, what are you doing now? I'm really bored. And he says, I didn't even leave my house yet. Oh my God. He's like, dude, I haven't even left. You're already texting me and I haven't even left. It's been 1.25 seconds. He's like, I didn't even leave my house yet. And she says, LOL, do you want to hang soon? And she says, Dom. He ignores her. Babe, answer. And he says, no, probably not. And he says, I'm still reading. She says, oh, damn. After you read, can I please come over? He says, no, babe. She says, why not? I have been asking you to hang out since yesterday. I want to hang out. And he says, I'll let you know. And she says, please let me. Text me when you're done reading, baby. And he says, I'll let you know. She sends a blank text. Are you reading still? You literally been reading for 4 hours. He's like, no, I haven't. I had other shit to do. Now I got to do my runs and I don't want to chill. And she says, please bring me. Why don't you want to chill? You told me yesterday we can hang today. And he says, because I'm just trying to do my own thing. And she says, I've been letting you do your own thing for 2 days. You told me yesterday we can hang out, Dom, after you get me from your dumb runs that I can easily come with you on. Now you on D&D. I swear you are so mean to me sometimes. And he says, no, I just ended chilling. Maybe we can chill later. She says, fine, we can chill later. And he says, maybe. And she says, no, not maybe, babe. Because if you say maybe, then you say yes, then you change your mind 20 times. Please just chill with me 100% later. And he's like, no. And she's like, WTF, why can't you effing hang with me? Makes me feel so loved when you do this. And he says, because I'm saying I'll let you know if I want to, and you're just like, chill with me later, 100%. And so no. And she says, fine, it's try to chill with me better. Like, you don't have to be so mean. I want to see you, Dom. And he says, okay. And she says, what do you even mean, okay? Can you try for me, babe? Yes or no? Question mark. I'm confused AF right now. Or don't answer. Okay, thanks, Dom. And he says, I'm busy. I will try. And she says, I for real hate being at my house. I just want to leave. Like, I want to see you. I've just been doing hella shit in my room all day. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to see you. Like, let me be busy with you. I just worked out, like a 40-minute workout. Oh my God, just answer the phone. Like, it's easier than texting. Whatever. I don't know how you can decline, but not text back. And he says, I'm driving. She says, I know. That's why I'm trying to call. So you can talk and pay attention to the road. And he says, okay. She says, so are you going to answer me or call me back? FaceTime me when you can and come scoop me whenever it's not too late. And he says, I'll let you know. And she says, okay, baby, good. And then she says, Dom, I effing hate my house. I need to get the F out. I'm literally going to freak out. So maybe Mackenzie didn't have the best relationship with her mom and living at home. Like, she makes it seem like, oh, my mom does what I want, like blah, blah, blah. I'm the boss around here. But it's like these text messages prove otherwise. Like, things weren't all gravy. Like, your mom tried to be the cool mom and your mom is enabling you, Mackenzie. But like, here it proves that you guys did not have a good relationship. And that plays a factor into why you're a psychopath. Just saying. So she says, I'm literally going to freak out. Why are you not texting back? And he says, I'm driving. And she says, oh my God, how many times I got to say I'm calling you so you don't have to look at the phone? Like, I call you so you can pay attention to the road, Dom. And he says, I want to listen to music. And she says, please get me out of this house. She never respected anyone. I think that's because she wants to be with him. She's literally obsessed. All she does is think about Dom. I think that's literally everything that her brain cells can fathom. Like, just Dom, Dom, Dom. Like, she wakes up thinking about him. She's blowing him up. She's stalking him. She's cursing at him. She's threatening him. It is so dysfunctional. It literally gives me like anxiety. Kim says, I feel like she's going to freak out because she feels like a caged animal. She did freak out and she drove into a building. She says, please get me out of this house. I effing hate being here. Like, please, everyone here is making me crazy. Please come get me. Babe, text me back. She emphasizes it. Question mark, question mark. You said you would call me back. You just hung up on me mid-sentence. And he says, call you in 10. She says, Kate, don't forget and try to get me at 8:30. Babe, it's been 10. Call me back. What the F? You don't have to make that sound when you hang up. Let me know soon. Babe, you said you would let me know before 9. And he says, can I just chill with Ashish and Angelo? She says, but you did that yesterday. Can I come? So you can chill with them and I can see you. It's a win-win. Really? So you're not going to say bye. You're going to end it like that. Like, are you kidding me? And he says, you didn't say bye. I said bye 30 times. And she says, you didn't say bye. You hung up. This is effed. We can just hang tomorrow. And he says, I don't like this. And she says, I don't like when you lead me on to hang either, Dom. I haven't seen you in 2 days, about to be 3. And you're not even trying to fix what you said to me. Like, I'm stressed the F out. You're my closest effing friend and my babe. Like, you can't just find a million excuses not to see me. And he says, we just ain't bred the same, I guess. He's like, actually, we are not alike. You're a psycho. Don't forget she was in school because they were in lockdown. That's why she's acting like a bigger idiot than she already is, says Kim. Now we're going to argue about saying bye-bye. It's insane how the one girlfriend she had in prison looked identical to Davion. I know. Oh my gosh. So she's like, so he says, we're not bred the same. Okay, but you were dating her for 4 years. He's a psycho too. You know what, Cree? I kind of agree with that. I know some of you get mad at me in the comments, but like, again, it takes 2 to tango. Dom is very unhinged as well. I hate to say it. They both did this to each other. It takes 2 to tango. Do you guys not agree? Do you agree or not? What do you guys think? Have to stay dehydrated because Mackenzie's keeping me dehydrated. So he says, we ain't bred the same. And she says, I'd assume so. We aren't related. You're still not trying to fix what you said. And he says, bred to different. She says, you can't just hurt me and leave it how it is. What do you mean? We can just hang out tomorrow morning, Dom. And he says, you got to stop blaming your feelings on me. And she says, well, when you talk about breakup, I'm going to be sad AF and flip. What do you expect? You know you're my number one, Dom. Hearing that kills me. Like, let's just hang tomorrow. I wake up late AF anyways. He says, I was just saying it might be better for you. She says, I don't know how breaking my heart is better for me, Dom. So he was clearly trying to break up with her in 2020 10,000 times. He knows it's going to be wrong with her based on the clear fact that he won't put it in writing. I know. Oof, it's really sad to see that Dom tried to get out of this relationship so many times, right? Like, oh man, I don't know, because of how she behaves, definitely a toxic relationship, but I think he's trying to get rid of her and can't. A restraining order, like something, I don't know, at this point, she's like threatening to blow up his house and key his car. I can't, you guys, this is in 2020. We haven't even got to the year of the crash. Like, we think these are bad in 2020. Can you guys imagine? So she says, I don't know how breaking my heart is better for me, Dom. Answer about chilling tomorrow. I never want our fights to be like this. I never even want to argue with you. And he says, I don't know. She says, please do that for me, babe. I miss you. You know I hate not seeing you for multiple days in a row. Especially when you're low-key being mean to me some of the day. And he says, I don't like dealing with this, babe. And she says, all I ask is for 3 things. No girls, hang out with me, and affection. None of them are hard to do. You can drive around all day on random time and you can find a way to see me. You do so many harder things in your life. And Dom says, I think we need some time apart. Okay. You know how he ignores her and like turns off the red receipts and then like turns off the location? Was he interested in someone else in cheating? Like, could he, maybe that's what he's been doing, you know, like he's like so over her and all this abuse and he's just like hanging out with his friends. He's 3 years older, keeps her as a steady piece. I wouldn't doubt he's playing around during this relationship. Thank you, Jill. That's what I was just saying. I'm getting vibes like he's like, oh, I'm hanging out with Angelo. I'm doing this. I'm hanging out with the boys. And I'm like, maybe you're not. Maybe you're interested in another female and you couldn't find a way to get out of this relationship with Mackenzie. Like, it's okay, Dom. Just tell the truth. He never said, I miss you, love you, you're the beautiful, anything like that. My first relationship was toxic, but we were obsessed with each other. I think he can't stand her, really. Yeah. Hey, Brienne says, you're the best. Thank you. If Kenzie remembers anything, it'll be Dom or Davion's fault. 0 chance she'll be honest. So he says, I think we need some time apart. He's definitely cheating on her. I just think he can't get rid of her. So he's trying to move on. Yeah, Kim, I agree. I think the whole rug thing and the family thing, I think their parents were like so involved with each other at some point too. I'm sharing your page to others. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, so he says, I think we need some time apart. And she says, here we go. Like Kim said, buckle down. She says, Dom, stop right now. Answer the phone. We not doing that again. We are not going on a break. Text me back. Like you're not going to do this to me. Get off D&D. We're not on a effing break, Dom. I do so much for you and you say that? Like I need you, especially now with this virus and so much more shit. We're not going on a break. We need to stay a team through this, Dom. Now I'm not going to sleep tonight. Stop being impulsive. Like we need to stay together through this, Dom. Come get me and we can talk. I'm about to puke. I threw up. I'm about to go to bed. Talk to me tomorrow. Sorry for being like that. I've just been stressed. I don't want to fight with you. I want to be cool. Like, let's just forget about this shit and restart. He doesn't respond. And she says, baby again. Text me in the morning, she says. That's at 4:09 a.m. At 8:42, she says, hang with me when you're up. I just had the craziest dream. Text me when you're awake. Dom? LOL, I know you're up, Dom. Answer. And he says, finally, what's up? She says, I had a crazy ass dream. Why does she always do that? She uses like having a dream for like what? Keeping him around? Like conversation? I bet Natalie's watching this. No way she won't let all these texts back pass her by. She hasn't hit me up. This is giving me meatloaf. Stop right now before we go any further. Attention seeking. Well, the dad says he doesn't agree with the sentence and forgives Kenzie. I know him and Dom's mom are not together though. Right? Okay, so she says, I had a crazy ass dream. You weren't in it, but it was whack. Babe, do you want to chill later today at like 6 or something? And he says, I don't know. I got to do shit. I'm about to go read in a sec. And she says, oh, all right. And I figured you were going to be busy for a little. That's why I said 6. And she says, just let me know around then. They might just pass everyone this year. And he said, that would be dope. She says, right? It would be good AF. We should have a movie night tonight. Popcorn and a good movie. So he tried to break up with her, and then she's like, let's have a movie night with popcorn. Kenzie was missing love and acceptance in her home. I agree, Mayla's mom. I agree. Cree says flip phone. That'll teach her. The frustration. He sees her as business. I feel like ever since he cheated on her, she finds reasons to be next to him. I agree. Okay, so she says popcorn and a good movie. Babe? Damn, you declined that one so fast. Oh, so she tried to call him. And she says, text back. Question mark, question mark. What the F, Dom? Why the F do you do that shit? If you have the time to decline and go on D&D, you have the time to answer me. She says, now I'm sus. Oh, and the pendulum said no. Remy, that's funny. Mackenzie's dad is quite the loser too. I don't think he ever grew up. Ooh. I might agree with that. The kids were not disciplined. They don't feel safe. They feel out of control. She probably thought they didn't care about her. Yeah, Mackenzie's a loser too. I don't think, yeah. So she says, now I'm sus. Answer right now. And she questions her own message. Whatever, Dom, you're mean AF. Honestly, what the F? You're being an a-hole, Dom. I'll find a movie we can watch. And he says, bet. And she says, do you want a scary one? He says, think of some good food I can get or something. I don't know, scary, funny, whatever is good. And she says, LMAO, what if you get Chick-fil-A? I had a chicken mini today. He says, true, we should just get hella chickens. And she says, LOL, like alive ones? And he says, that's a good idea. She says, LMAO, are you trying to tell me we should raise chickens? He says, we could. She says, what if they peck us though? The eggs from the people who have chickens smack. And then he says, I'm going to try to close early today so we can chill. And she says, OMG, yay, thank you, babe. And then she says, hey, babe, what are you doing now? No response. And she says, Dom? And she questions it. And then she says, answer, Dom. And then she says, wow, I'm mad. Answer right now. I am so mad. He says, low battery. And she says, I don't know where you effing are. Don't lie. Thanks for hanging when you're free because you're totally not at the abandoned house. Thank you for effing me over. I thought you were actually going to try today. He says, okay, I guess we're not hanging tonight. She says, no, we are. You told me you would try to be done early and you choose to hang out with other effing people. Like, why do you have to get my hopes up? Stop effing lying to me and get off D&D. And he says, stop tweaking. I was literally about to chill with you. She says, well, you're ignoring me. Then I see you on someone's story. I don't know how far you are. And usually when you do that, you ignore me until it's too late. I'm ready. And I picked out 3 movies. Are you coming to get before 8? And he says, I was going to, but you start coming at me crazy again. Okay, he's playing games. He's playing games. I don't like how he does that. Like, I don't like how he does that. He's like, oh yeah, we were going to hang. Not now. Now you're mad. It's like, he also manipulates her and tries to like, I don't know. Like, I just tit for tat BS. Yeah. Like that would really make me upset too. Like, and considering her mental health issues, she's probably going crazy. And his mom and brother were pissed off telling the detective that. They said it doesn't make sense. That's true. He says, I was going to start, but you're coming at me crazy again. And she says, Dom, I picked out the movies. I'm ready. Come get me. You said you won't do this to me again. I've been waiting all day for movie night. And he says, okay, then just chill and I'll get you. Don't worry. But you're making me not want to. And she says, Dom, I did text you all day today. I'm just chilling now. Come soon like you said you would. I don't want to get sleepy and fall asleep during the movie. Please come now. Like, I wish we were starting the movie right now. And he says, give me a little. I will. Just don't blow me up. She says, I won't. Get off D&D too. And come before 8:30. I'm stressed out now because movie night isn't going to be the same because I'm probably going to be tired. And he says, I don't know. Sorry. She says, it's sad that all you have to say, but it's whatever. I'll probably just forget about it. Can you please come now? You told me you would try. And honest, I feel like you're not trying at all. Come on now, Dom. And she says, it's almost 8:30, Dom. Please don't do this. Dom, come get me. You're really upsetting me. Why are you not answering me now? It's about to be 9. Why are you doing this? Dom, text me back. You said you would come soon. Why do you have to lie to me? You get my hopes up, then break me for no reason. I've been waiting here because you said you were coming soon, and it's been over an hour now. Come get me, Dom. It's literally 9. LOL, really? You're an a-hole, Dom. I'm going over to your house. I guess I'll be waiting for you again. LOL. F it. I'll be at your house so you don't have to get me. I'm on my way. I'm walking over. I'll get the popcorn and the movie started. Where are you? Dom, popcorn's about to be ready. It's gonna get cold. Dom, what the F? You better make it up to me after this effing shit. It's effing whack. And he finally responds and says, I'm coming home. Oh my God, you guys, how many text messages was that? I think that was like 17. Holy balls. Here we go again, says Cree. You guys, who sends this many text messages? Okay, if you like someone, please don't be like this. He says, I'm coming home. She says, low battery. He says, for real was. She says, I'm so upset. Thanks so much for trying to effing have movie night with me. I waited when you said you were coming soon. Soon means 10 minutes, not 1.5 hours, Dom. And he doesn't respond. And she says, night, baby. I'll talk to you tomorrow or something. Wish you could have slept over. When you wake up, text me. Maybe you can make up last night. Maybe you can make last night up to me today. And she says, or just be active and don't text me. And he says, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sad today. And she says, why are you sad, baby? She says, want to FaceTime me? I went to sleep sad. I didn't want to sleep alone. Babe, Dom, text back. And he says, why? And she says, because I wanted to be with you longer. Are you okay? And he says, yeah, I'm just chilling, sad, probably about to go chill with Kyle and mourn. And she says, mourn what? And he says, mourn about the old times. She says, whenever you say that, I feel like you're talking about when we weren't together. And he sends an emoji. And she says, do you want to do movie night tonight since you didn't last night? And that wasn't supposed to make you mad. He says, I don't know. I'm kind of sad I can't go to prom. I'll probably just chill alone tonight. And she says, Dom, stop. If the virus clears before you will be able to go. And you said you would make it up to me. And he says, no, not today, N-word. And that's if right now there's no prom and you probably would be happy about it. And she says, stop calling me the N-word. And I don't know why you're taking this out on me. I'm trying to be there for you and you're being mean. And he says, my feelings are hurt. And she says, how did I hurt your feelings? And Dom said, you said you're glad there's no prom. My senior year, all over my friends that I chill with since elementary gonna be gone. And I can't even go to prom with them. And you just want to be a DICK, says Dom. So yeah, I don't give an F. And Mackenzie says, WTF? And she sends a screen. And then Dom sends a screenshot. And then he says, it might be that time in my life. And she says, no, literally stop. Whenever you're going through some shit, you put it on me 30 times harder. And he says, no, I won't text you for 20 minutes and you act like it's the end of the earth. That's why I never chill with you. And she says, I'm sad you don't want to bring me to prom with you when Lexi can bring me and Dev can bring you. I'm trying not to care. but it's hard when you don't want to bring me. That's why I don't talk about it ever. It's more than 20 minutes, Dom, so you ignore me, then get mad at me for getting upset that you're ignoring me. I don't get it. And Dom says, no, it's more than that. I don't care if you want to be with me when I'm up. Don't complain when I'm down. And he says, I'm not complaining, Dom. I'm trying to be there for you and you're just shitting on me. I'm there for you when you're up and down. You know that. And he says, no, you want me to be there for you. And she says, what? Yeah, of course I do, because I'm there for you the most. That's not a bad thing. I want you to be there for me. And he says, you got me so effing mad right now. And she says, we are there for each other. And he says, we're not chilling today. And she says, I'm sorry. I don't try to make you mad. I'm trying to be there for you when you're sad because I know how you get when you're sad. So I want to get you happy as fast as I can. I never try to be a DICK. I never F you over. So please stop taking your emotions out on me. I'm going to be here whenever you need me. I have nothing to do again today. So if you're done being mean, you can scoop. No response. And she says, text me back. And he says, why are you calling me? And she says, because I want you to answer me. Read what I said. You're being mean for no reason when you just apologized last night for effing me over. You were on your phone. Answer. Whatever, Dom. Just be a DICK all day. That will totally make me happy. Saying sorry then doing similar shit makes the sorry mean nothing. You're for real so mean. And he says, nah. And she says, yeah, you are. You F me over so many times. Like you just said, sorry. You really think that sorry means anything now? You were mean from the start today. And he says, nah, you make it so hard for me. She says, sounds like an excuse. And that's hard, Dom. How hard is it to be nice to someone who does so much for you? And he says, whatever I do so much for you, but whatever I try to help you so much, but whatever, I just won't anymore. And don't do anything for me since you don't have to keep score. And she says, LMAO, I don't keep score. I'm just saying, I don't deserve you being mean to me when I do a lot. How about this we talk and have a movie night tonight at 7:30? Answer. Talk and movie at 7:30? And he says, maybe. And she says, fine, I'll take a maybe. You better make it up to me though. It will mean more than you think it will. And then she says, 7:30. And then she says, you left me on red. And he says, okay, I'll let you know. And she says, okay, don't let me down again. And he says, probably not today. She says, so is that saying are you saying you're going to let me down again? I'm for real going to be sad if you don't. You say you will try, then don't try at all. Today could be the day you show me you're trying for me. Answer. You literally mean I don't get why you can never try. And he says, bruh, I don't know. And she says, you do know. You're just choosing to do this. And you're still on D&D. It's 7. If you don't make it up to me, I'm for real going to be upset as F. You try for everyone but me, Dom. Answer. Right now. I'm for real mad. I don't know why you can never do anything for me. I asked you for effing movie night one time and you can't even do that. And he's like, why? And she's like, I give you all day. He says, I will. Just don't stay up late enough. And she says, and you still can't? And she says, I don't know why the F you're out till 9 every day. Get me at 7:30 for a movie night since you can never do anything for me. And he says, no. She says, get off, do not disturb. No? ? And he says, yeah. She says, oh my God, you didn't say no. You are so mean. Why can you never try? He says, sorry, I'm not doing this shit anymore. She says, you never did anything. I want you to start trying. I've been asking for movie night and to talk. He says, not right now. I got shit I need to do. And she says, and you literally can't. But you can chill with your homies, but not me. And he says, you're tripping. She says, no, you are. When are you going to start trying? Last night was not fun at all. I wanted to effing watch the movies I took the time to pick out. Of course, you're still on D&D. Is this going to be another one of those nights where I just walk over? ? Get off D&D. Stop being a DICK. If you F me over for the 30th time, I'm just going to walk over. You say I'm tripping when you ignore me and lie to me and how you don't try at all. I clean your effing room just because I feel like it. WTF. And Dom says, no. And she says, and then all you say is that. You are dry. You reply dry. I'm effing coming over at 8. I'm going to sit and effing wait if you're going to be such an a-hole. Get off D&D. You act so childish. You treat me so shitty. You make me wait for an hour, then F me over, then saying sorry, then do it again. Like you're just saying sorry to say it. And Dom says, no, I don't do that. You do that to yourself. And Mackenzie says, because you wouldn't be doing the same shit if you were sorry. Trust me, it is not me. You are the one on D&D. You're the one who can never try for me. And he says, okay, I'm done. She says, no, you're not. When will you be home? You are mean AF, then try to put it on me and get mad at me for being upset. I literally don't know what to do to make you be effing nice to me. Get off D&D. Like, what's wrong with you? F it. I'm for real just going to come when you're home. And he says, leave me alone. Girl, get a clue. Are you guilt tripping? You guys, I've never seen anything like this in my life. Block her, Dom. Kenzie's has sat, lots of stonewalling. Wow. So much secondhand embarrassment. He has told her for days he does not want to be around her and she will not take it. They're both toxic and abusive. I wish they both had someone to confide in. So avoidable. Stop ordering her around. Maybe start with that. Wait, she hasn't figured out after 30 times. She isn't very smart. Kenzie annoying AF. You guys, this is insane. How many times? Still creepy. He had dreams of her getting in a helicopter, seeing his own death. I think she assigned comments to letters so she could hit them fast, so he couldn't escape her fatal attraction. She has BPD. There's no way she doesn't. I do. I get that. No parents cared. Ugh. Like, I feel like a little bad in my heart. Like, yeah, it's creepy and they're psycho, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, I think they both have major mental health issues. And like they were in this toxic relationship and their families like didn't do anything to try to help. And they like enabled that relationship. And like, look at where it got them. Dom was literally shredded human being remains from that car crash. You guys have to go watch my playlist and watch the body cam if you haven't, because you can hear even the police saying like how brutal it is. Mental health is so overlooked. How did it get to this point? Like, how did their parent, like, it makes me feel like their parents are in the same boat. You know what I mean? His mom did feel stuck. The other thing I keep reminding myself, this was really difficult time for kids in high school. Yes, that is true, Kim. It was they have a lot of, yeah, they're so silly, you know, but again, it's like the parents. I wasn't even allowed to be sleeping over at boy's house at 15. Like, I'm shocked. I don't know, even if they were together for years, like they're 15 years old. Her mom was allowing Dom to come over there at 18 and date his daughter and smoke weed and do all this stuff. A lot of dysfunctional on both sides. Yeah, and also for people in the relationship, lots of dating during trauma. They're suffering from isolation. Dom was 18. It's kind of like being put in solitary confinement. That is true. Okay, let's see. So he says, leave me alone. And she says, get off D&D. I'll leave you alone when you start trying. I'm coming over tonight. I don't know why you're so mean to me when I ask for nothing other than to effing see you, but no, you can't do that. I'll be waiting for you, Dom. And he says, I won't come home then. And she says, WTF? What is wrong with you? And he says, yeah, you just can't be going to my house. She says, then try. You think I want to do that? Where are you? Get off D&D, say sorry, and try, and it won't be like this. You better have a movie night with me. 8:30. I'll be ready at 8:30. And he says, WTF? I honestly would if you weren't so forceful. She says, I don't know why you keep effing me over. She says, no, you wouldn't. It's not forceful. It's a time. 8:30. Talk to me on the phone, Dom. You're literally making me so sad. I have nothing to do all day except clean and work out, and then I have you treating me like shit. It's killing me. I'm sad all day. I haven't cried myself to sleep in months. Okay, chill out. Don't cry yourself to sleep. Like, it's going to be okay. Trauma bonded. I feel like Dom's mom was dealing with Christopher and that was hard for their family. I agree. Walk away. She turned the car to save herself. You guys, yeah, as I read these texts, I keep thinking back to the accident. I'm like, so did she do it intentionally? Was she trying to unalive herself? Was she trying to unalive both her and Dom? Was Davion just an accident? Someone left me a really good comment earlier on one of the lives and said, like, Davion didn't want to go with them, but one of them convinced him that he could get a ride. And they had done rugs the night before. So Mackenzie knew what she was going to do, like, from the start. And she just didn't care about Davion being like cargo in the car accident. Like, what do you guys think about that theory? I'm just curious. She says, it's killing me. I'm sad all day. I haven't cried myself to sleep in months. I want to spend time with you. So now you're going to leave me on red after all of that? Answer. And he says, you always say everything is my fault. And she says, I'll leave you alone if you get me at 8:30. Not everything, but when you ignore me, then you're mean to me all day. It really affects my day. Like, really F's with my head and day. And she emphasizes her own message. And then she says, you've been on D&D all day. And he says, I know. She says, did you see what I said? And he says, I don't want to be disturbed. That's too soon. She says, I'll stop texting you if you scoot me at 8:30. What is a good time for you then, Dom? 9 is the latest I will go. Answer so I know. Dom, do 8:30, please. I'll walk over. You don't even have to get me. Please. Please do 8:30. It will mean so much to me. I'm going to buy some bud too. And he says, Kenzie, I think we should take a break again. It'll be good for the both of us. He has tried to break up with her so many times. Is anyone keeping track? I haven't kept track. We're on like 4,000 pages of text messages. Well, 3,128 to be exact. He literally is trying to break up with her again. How sad. I think it's the 1 millionth time so far. It's more than 12. I hope they make a Lifetime movie of this. This needs to be in, like, you know, the textbooks in school? Like, this needs to be in their, like, poster situation for, like, what relationship not to be in and how not to be toxic. You know what I mean? And, like, this is what bipolar disorder looks like. This is what doing drugs with your parents looks like. And this is, like, what dating someone 18-year-old looks like. And I think that Mackenzie and Dom both had ulterior trauma in their life. Maybe it stems from childhood. Maybe it stems from a chemical disorder. Maybe something. But, like, there's something there. Coercive control at its best. Exactly. He had to be rescued from her car a week. Yes, he did. Think of how many times he's probably said it to his face. Heavy on the doing rugs with their parents. No remorse either. Oh, I just saw a bug again. I don't know what the heck. Okay, so she says, Kenzie, I think we should just take a break again. It'll be good for the both of us. And she says, please do it for me. No, she says. She sends the same text 3 times. Girl, you crack me up. You're the best reader, really. Yeah. And okay, so she says, no. And he says, yeah, it will. I'll be here for you. And she says, that's the last thing I need. Why do this to me right now, babe? Why do you have to do this? Please don't do this. Please, babe. He says, we haven't been getting along and you need to make some friends. Her brain didn't develop right since her dad had her doing dabs at 14 years old. Phones are part of the problem. She wanted to be alone with Dom. And that's why she was against Davion being in the car. But she had her seatbelt on, so she wanted to kill him. Yeah, Davion and Dom didn't have their seatbelt on. Okay, so he says, we haven't been getting along and you need to make some friends. And she says, call me. Please. And he says, no, babe, relax. She says, please talk to me. No, stop, she says. He says, why? She says, stop. Seriously. And he says, chill. She says, stop. No break. Stop this. He says, I'm not going to keep texting if you're going to text like that. Speak English. She says, please don't do this to me. He says, no caps. She says, no break. And he says, okay, well, chillax. She says, we can talk about this in person. And he says, okay, we'll talk about it later. She says, he says, I don't want to talk about it in person though. She says, I'm so effing sad. I'm not texting about it. I want to be face to face. And he says, I think it will be good for the both of us. She says, I don't. No, stop. And he says, I can't deal with your emotions. She meant to kill him, not herself. If they were freaked out by her driving, it's really damn stupid to at least not put your seatbelt on. Oh, she didn't wear a seatbelt? I thought she maybe did. She's losing her sheet. I know. Okay, so he says, I can't deal with your emotions. I have to live with Christopher and my mom. So he's basically saying like what he's dealing with at home is like too much to deal with her. He's going to go to military and escape her. Oh, she did wear a seatbelt. Take a look at the TikToks. Yeah, I thought I heard she did. I thought I heard the paramedics say she did have it on in the body cam too. He says, I have to live with Christopher and my mom. And she says, stop. She had hers on and the boys didn't. Yeah. She says, stop. I'll chill out. Just no break. And movie night, 8:30. She says, my dad's growing up. They all a bunch of drama queens. That shit bugs me. No, 8:30, she says. And then she says, when? When then? When, Dom? Call me right now. We're not going on a break. It's the last thing I need right now. Let me come over. Dom, answer. Please answer. You can't just say that, then ignore me. Dom, listen. Okay, that was like 9 text messages. She should not have survived that crash. And he said, no. She said, no what? Listen to me. And he says, we can maybe chill when I get home if you stop bugging me. She says, I'll stop bugging you if we can have movie night tonight. That's all I want. Movie night with you. He says, I stopped texting for a second and you flip like I could be texting my mom or get a phone call or anything. And she says, I'm going to buy a bunch of bud tonight. A second feels like 40 minutes when shit like this is going on. Can you please get off D&D? Thank you so much for getting off D&D. OMG. Call me, please. How about you come at 9 and we can do movie night? Give me time to get ready and I should be done before then anyway. He says, no, I have a headache. She says, I do too. Please, Dom. I'll rub your back. We don't even have to watch a movie. I need bud too. I'm completely out of dabs and I'm about to be out of bud. And he says, okay, chill. I told you to stop blowing me up. Leave me alone. And she says, I stopped. And he says, maybe we can chill when I'm home. She says, can you come home at 9, please? I'll stop blowing you up because I know what time you're going to be home. And he says, what? She says, no, not 9. Like I won't be blowing you up asking when you're going to be home and when you're coming. 9 is late AF and I need dabs and bud too. I'm about to get like 4 grams. Can you please do 9 for me? I'll bring you back a cake pop. Please do 9. He says, no, babe, I have stuff to do. She says, how are you still busy? Maybe you can just scoop me when you're done so we can kick it. And he says, because I have to go run a couple places right now. No, I haven't chilled with Kyle in a grip. That's what I'll do. And she says, if you chill with Kyle tonight, then you can hang with me all day tomorrow. Can I call you? Do this easier? Of course you're back on D&D. Honestly, WTF, LMAO, F it. Just come over after Kyle's. Sleep over. He says, no, babe. She says, why not? That is such a good idea. He says, then when you leave tomorrow, I can just come with you and we can hang. That's what she said. He says, no. She says, all you're going to do is say no. He says, yeah, you got me salty. She says, how are you salty? I stopped effing bugging you and you said maybe to coming over. I actually thought you were going to make it up to me, she says, sad face. It's whatever. I guess I'll chill with you tomorrow. Are you home? And he says, no. She says, I know you're lying, baby. I also know you already chilled with Kyle today. I don't know why you're lying to me, sad face. He says, I'm not home. And yeah, I know. And she says, well, you were already there and you want to go back. I think I should get a turn with you before Kyle gets another. Can you get off D&D? You're being really mean. You better make this up to me. Question mark. And he says, okay, well, I'm probably not going back to Kyle's. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And she says, okay, do you think I could come over until 12 or something? So I could get dabs and bud. Then we can just do movie night tomorrow. You don't have to do anything, Dom. Dom? And he says, maybe. I'm not home. And she says, can you get me now? It's late. Also, get off D&D. It's late AF. Just let me come now. And where could you possibly be at 10:13 at night? I want to talk on the phone too. He says, nah, maybe later. And she says, Dom, it's 10. And she says, I'm tired. I stayed up because I thought you were going to hang with me. Get off D&D. You're being mean for no reason. And she dislikes it. And then she says, you've been saying later all effing day. I'm fed the F up. You probably with some slow ass MFers. I need bud and dabs. Like, why can you give to everyone but me? I want to talk on the phone. And then he says, Kenzie, I'll deal with that stuff tomorrow. Right now, I don't know what I should do. And she says, hang with me, Dom. WTF. Is it really that hard of a decision? Get off D&D. I'm about to for real be mad again. You answer every 10 minutes. You should effing hang out with me, bruh. Like WTF. I've been asking all day. You have nothing to do. Let me come over. I'm getting money from the bank. And he says, no, Kenzie, I need my space. Like, so toxic and zero parental concern or even awareness. I know. He says, no, Kenzie, I need my space. I want to do more me, not with you. She says, you still need to make it up to me, Dom. I'm kind of mad now too. And he says, well, I'm sorry, but I think we should separate for a little. How many times has he tried to break up? Yeah, Kim says, now we're about at the 1,000,006th time. He says, well, I'm sorry, but I think we should separate for a little. And she says, I'm going to be honest, when you're out this late and being mean, I feel like you're with another girl. Like, I know you wouldn't, but it stresses me out. Not until we talk in person. And he says, why? I don't want to talk about it in person. She says, can you FaceTime me when I'm home? I don't want to text about it. And he says, I don't want to have to deal with your emotions. And she says, WTF? And he says, for real though. And she says, I don't want to have to deal with your anger, but I do. And she says, and he says, this is why we separate. She says, we are not separating. He says, we are now separated. She says, no, we are together. He says, no, we're going to separate. And she says, no, we're not. What the F is wrong with you? We are not breaking up. Are you trying to effing hurt me? And he says, no, I'm not. I'm trying to help you. And she says, you doing this doesn't help ever. It makes me tweak out. I'm for real about to pull up. You never try to help. You only think about you. Your money, your homies. And he says, this is how I'm a help. And she says, I'm coming over. He says, I'm not home. She says, I'll be waiting. You always have to be a DICK at the worst times. I'm in the car anyway. I'll be there soon. Answer right now. I'm for real on Lun. You are literally an a-hole. I don't know why you think you're helping me when you never are. Making me cry isn't helping. Ever. Want to know what will help though? And he says, it'll probably be better in the end. The only thing about you, says the girl, only thinks about herself. This is so sad. Why couldn't have anyone intervened? She always talked to his older brother like this is crazy. Right, Persephone Plum? She's a breakup killer. Dude, he says, it'll probably be better in the end. And she says, I'm at your house. And he says, okay. And she says, bet, I'll be waiting. And then she says, come back so we can talk. And she sends a picture of something, and I'm not going to click on it so we don't lose it. But we'll have all of these Snapchat pics later. He says, I'm not coming back. She says, I'll sleep here. Stop being a bitch. You treat me worse than you treat anyone, she said. I don't deserve to cry all day. And he said, Kenzie, nah, I won't be back for a week. She says, come back. I'll leave soon if you come back and talk. If you come now, I'll leave at 11. I'm crying my ass off. I literally hate my life. Everyone I'm so loyal to F's me over. Please be here for me, Dom. And he says, Kenzie, I want to. It's just hard right now. She says, if you wanted to, you would. I wake up and text you good morning. You're the first person I think about, she says. Come back, babe, please. Talk to me. Come, Dom. I'm so sick of people doing me wrong. Like, come talk. Dom, if you don't come back, I'll know you don't care. Really? You're gonna post? You got me effed up, Dom. Answer. Right now. I don't know what you're doing. Wow, you are effing mean. You're single, N-word, huh? Now Lexi in my biz. And she says, F you. So he must have went and posted that he was single. It's kind of like he's got a little Stockholm syndrome. I agree, Kim. Psycho AF. I also agree with that part, Rebecca. So she says, F you. You are a PUSSY. I'm for real about to go crazy, she says. You better come back right now. N-word, I'm going to post hella pics of me and you. I'm for real about to post them all. Pics about to be posted. What pic of me did you post? You are a liar, she says. You're so effing fake. I can't believe I trusted you. Oh, are you with Hannah too? I'm posting. Drive back right now. Drive the F back. Question mark. Are you effing dumb? Come back right now. Come back. You never do shit for me. You lie to me over and over and talk to other girls. So Hannah is the one that he was like cheating with, right? She is definitely a narcissist. It's all about her and her feelings. So she says, you F me over and talk to other girls. She says, I bet Hannah is with you right now. I will F everyone up, she says. Get back home right now. And she says, I'm just going to kill myself. I don't like that. I don't like that. When people threaten that kind of stuff in a relationship, it's like run for the damn hills. She says, I'm just going to unalive myself. F you, I'm for real done with life. I'm in your mother effing room. If you don't come here, there's going to be an issue. I will straight up flip out in here. And there's a big one on the floor too. Come right now. You are effed up. Get back now, N-word. You're a fake ass. You're a fake. You're a liar. F you. F you. F you. F you. F you. F you. She keeps sending that over and over. I'm not just saying it, you guys. Whoa. Oh my gosh. She literally sent it 20 times. And then she finally says, you're literally a fake person. I never knew it was going to be you. I'm about to drink your Patron. You're such a F N-word. You fake, Dom. F you for real. I can't believe you. Took 3 shots. Patron. You are fake. I'm just going to go post pics of us. Some cute ones too. I'm going to post them now on Insta. Dom, come back right now. Come back. What abandoned building you on the way to? Dom, 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 I'm effing going to bed. You fake ass N-word. We might have to break up for real after this one. My mom didn't let me. You win. I can't sleep. But still, F you. F you. You're a PUSSY. You're a fake. Now I know who you really are. I can't believe you. F you, Dom. I hope you get caught in the building. I for real hope you're in trouble. You are grimy. You are fake. I don't even know you. You're the fakest person I ever met. You never cared. You used me. You're probably cheating on me right now. F you. F you. And he finally responds. Did we really just see this? She's sick. Oh, don't threaten him with a good time. He blocked her. If they were dating prior to him turning 18, why would they even try to keep it a secret? You guys, this is like too much. I think that was like 20 text messages, aside from the 10 that she said, F you. He says, N-word, I'm just chilling. And she says, F you, Dom. I hate you. I hate you so much. You are so fake. You're fake. And he says, welp, I tried. And she says, you're a liar. You never try in your life. Never. You're an effing PUSSY. And he says, I did now, but now I'm just chilling. And she says, you are such a P word. You never did. All you do is do me wrong, lie, and probably cheat. Do you ever go home? Like, F you. F you. She's yelling in caps now. I don't know what your gross ass posted too. I hate you. I hate you so much. I drank hella Patron too, N-word. F you. If you sleep at Carl's, we're probably going to have to break up. I'm so done with you being a liar. Sad your R-word ass choices make me have to lose my whole other family. You're pathetic as F. Tell Carl his house effed too. Your room might as well be too. She emphasizes her text. F you. And he says, I never cheated. She says, liar. He says, I've been chilling with AJ and Carl. And she says, LOL. Yeah, Carl's house is done. Just wait. He says, swear? LOL. She says, I'm about to break windows and shit. He says, why would you text about that? She says, Carl can take his ugly ass back to Cleveland. She says, Dom says, Kenzie, that's crazy. She says, if you don't come home and call, we're breaking up. She says, you treat me so bad. You try for everyone but me. And he said, Kenzie, that's why I want to separate. She said, you should feel terrible. He says, I'm sorry. I need to change. At least he recognizes it, right? She's emotionally disturbed. I'm about to throw up my buttered popcorn. Did he just, okay, so she's like, we're going to have to break up. Why isn't he just like, okay, done, broke up, blocking you? Kim says, you know, it's sad and scary to me. He's afraid to block her on the phone. He's afraid what she's going to do in the house and to his family. And if he does sell substances, because, you know, he was just a rug dealer, and he's 18, it could essentially put him in a bad place, I guess. Very sad. She's a whole new level. She's unreal. I'm so glad you guys are seeing this with me. And no one has these except me on YouTube so far. So we're getting like the real side, aside from what we already know, you know, like just the body cam footage and stuff. Like this is really bad. And this is in 2020. Like 2 years before she decided to crash that car. So he says, I'm sorry, I need to change. She says, you like making your girl cry? He says, but you need to change too. She says, that's why all your Patron is gone. Whoops. He says, okay, we're broken up, I guess. She says, if you don't come back and face your problems, we're done. He says, you already probably effed shit up over there. She says, whatever. I seen what you posted. Actually, he says, what did I post? And he says, I took it down. And she says, I cleaned your room, N-word. I should unclean it. I shouldn't have. You get too much good. And he says, oh, I thought you like dumped my Patron out. She says, I drank hella. I puked. F you. And he says, LOL. She says, I can't believe you. Come back right now. We are not cool. If you don't come back, we're breaking up. And he says, I'll come back later. And she says, now. He says, no. She says, see, F you. He says, Kenzie, we need to break up. It'll be better for the both of us. She says, so much effort. No. F you. We're not talking about that on text. He says, look, and if time goes by and we still feel the same, we can get back together. Yeah, she's at his house. How the F did it get with her threatening to break up with him? He says, look, if we still feel the same, we can get back together. He's like, let's take a break. He says, because real love never dies. She says, you really want to leave me here alone with all the water guns? We both know you're going to be effing hella girls. What? I know. This is like the good book you can't put down. She won't let him break up like it's only her choice. She says, you're going to be effing other girls. So I think I'll be cool. You're probably going to hit Hannah up. Hannah has entered the chat as of last night. Hannah, we need to hear from you, Hannah. He obviously had a thing with Hannah because she's been bringing her up a lot. He didn't want to break up. He enjoyed treating her like shit. As soon as he thinks she might break up, he responds. So she says, you're probably going to hit Hannah up. Then Audrey. Like N-word, F you. You're an effing PUSSY. If you don't come back before 3 or 3:30, we're done. You can read your weird ass books that F with your head. F you, Dom. I can't believe I let you break me for this long. Come back now. Now. She says, now again, now again, now again, now again, now again, now again, and then another now. I effing hate you. Carl needs to kill himself. Come back now, or I'll come to Carl's. I can be there in 5 minutes. And he says, how? She says, come back. And he says, I'll come back in a little. Chill. She says, now. I'm not chilling. I'm not going to be chill. You're a bitch. You showed me who you are. And now I know you're a liar, she says. You knew you were the only person I cared about. You use, thinking you're the best when you're not, she said. Good people don't make their girls cry every day. I can't with you. You are a DICK. Come back right now. Imagine making your girl cry every day. He says, yeah, that's why we separate for a little so I can figure some shit out. And she says, you say that, then cheat. Come back. Stop being slow. I'm going to puke. N-word. Come back now. Come back now. I'm coming to Carl's. Come back right now. You are effed. You're such a liar. And he says, why? And she says, come back. He says, I don't know if I can come home if you're doing this. She says, right now. Come back. You said soon. You lie. He says, nah, because you're still tweaking. Just smoke some bud and go to bed. She says, no, you're a liar. Get over it. You lie every day. Come back and I'll stop. He says, I don't know how I do that. Yeah, my dad taught me pretty good. I don't lie a lot though, said Dom. She says, yes, you do. Come back. He says, I was just about to start trying to sleep. This is at 3 o'clock in the morning. And she says, N-word. If you sleep, then we're done. And he says, what? It's late. I'm not trying to drive. And she says, I'm coming. I'm so mad. Are you serious? And he says, how and why? She says, drive back right now. I'm for real about to break my neck. I hate my life. I hate my life. I hate it. He says, why? She says, I want to effing die. I hate my life. I hate my life. He says, okay, I'm going to stop texting you. And she says, I hate. And she says, no, if you don't come, you better come. Dom, I'm going to have Angelo take me to Carl's. Dom, please don't sleep. Please. He says, no, he won't do that. She says, please come back. Please come back. Please, please. He says, can you relax, please? She says, Dom, don't F me over again. Come back. He says, it's 3 a.m. She says, I'll relax if you come. I'm here at your house, Dom. Come back. He says, I know, you told me that. She says, come, please. Please don't do this to me. He says, no, you've been drinking. It's not a good idea if I come. She says, I lied. I didn't take any shots. He says, you're probably lying right now, if anything. She says, no, my head hurt too bad. On my mom. He says, I don't know which lie to believe. She says, there's still Patron in the glass, the shot glass. He says, and yeah, still though, I'm not trying to come. It's not a good idea. She says, I puked because my head and my anxiety, not because of drinking. Come, please. Don't do this. Dom, come. Stop. Please come over. She says, he said, what's going to happen when I come over? She says, we're going to talk. And he said, about what? And she said, about us. Then sleep. He says, I'm not going to be able to handle that. She says, fine. Then sleep. Then talk in the morning. Please come back, Dom. And he says, I'm not going to be able to handle talking, period. She says, it will mean so much. Please come back. Come back, Dom. Come back. You told me you would. Please, please, please don't stay there. He says, Kenzie, I really wish I could, but I don't think it's the right thing to do. She says, I'll do anything. No, it's not. Come back. And he says, Kenzie, we need time off, babe. She says, come back. He says, don't panic. She says, then we can. He says, don't text me, hella. She says, Dom, come back right now. Don't be like this. Come back. We have to talk. I'll leave tomorrow. Then we're on a break. I'm fed up with you bullying me. He says, I told you not to just text me, hella. She says, come back. Please. I will do anything for you to come back. And she sends an attachment. And she says, Dom, please. Dom. He says, Kenzie, I need to better myself alone. I shouldn't have went to another relationship without dealing with shit by myself. And she sends an audio message and he says, I'm not listening to those. She says, Dom says, Carl and AJ will hear. She says, do this for me. Come back. Please, I'm begging you. Please come back. And he says, it's so late. I just want to sleep. She says, don't do me wrong. You can sleep here. I'll sleep on the floor. Please come back, Dom. Please don't sleep there. And he said, Carl already got me a bed. She says, no, Dom, please, don't do this to me. Don't do this, please. Please come back. I will do anything. Anything, Dom. Please come back. I can't sleep without you. And he says, okay, if you say no, Dom, please, or don't do this again, please come back. I'm done talking to you. I'm not taking the spam. I'm literally mad right now. And she says, I'll just sleep in your car. I wonder if Crime Circus heard these. No, he defends her. He thinks she's innocent. This is the same stuff over and over again, but every time it just gets a little more toxic. Yeah, I know. She says, I'll just sleep in your car. He said, like, I was sad trying to deal with it, but now I'm just mad. She says, I'm mad. WTF, you effed me over. I'm saying I need you. He says, can you just stop spam texting me the same 3 fragments of a sentence? And she says, Dom, please just come. It'll be worth it. He says, I'm mad now. And she says, Dom, just come. It will mean so much. And she says, Dom, please, I'm about to puke. Please come here. And he says, I'm already in bed. I don't know if I can. And she says, you can. You just got in bed. I'm about to puke. F. And he says, I've been in bed for like 20 minutes now. And she says, get up. Please come. Be here for me. Dom, I'm begging you. Don't sleep there. And he says, why? She says, I keep puking. I'm scared. I want to see you. I don't want to puke anymore. And he says, Kenzie, just relax and smoke some bud. She says, please be here for me. I need you right now. If I smoke, I'll puke. I don't feel good. He says, I can't be there for you right now. She says, please drive home. Yes, you can. Please come be here for me. This is at like 4 a.m. too, you guys. She says, I need you. I need my babe. And he says, that's not how it's going to work. She says, please come here. If you're here, my anxiety will chill out. And he says, I don't know if I can be your babe. And she says, come back. I effing hate my life. I hope I die, she says. I'm saying I need you. I need you, Dom. And Dom says, Kenzie, that's why we need to separate for a little. She says, please come back, Dom. He says, we need to at least try to break up. And she says, please just come back here and be here. Please get up. I'm puking again. He says, I'm going to stop texting you, babe, if you keep saying the same couple things. She says, I keep puking. I'm scared. I don't feel good. And he says, don't be scared. And she says, I'm shaking. My head is pounding. I need you right now. He said, just close your eyes. She says, Dom, please come over. I won't flip on you. And he says, just think. She says, I keep getting dizzy. And he says, lay down, babe. And she says, I am. He says, get some water and lay down. Get off your phone. And she says, no, I want you to come back and be here for me. I don't want to stop texting you till you're here. And he says, I'm probably the main cause of your headache. She says, you don't understand how much I need you right now. And she says, I won't bitch you out. I promise. Please come sleep here. I feel like my head's going to explode and I taste blood. And he says, Kenzie, I can't. You were literally tweaking on me the whole time. And when I finally get in bed, you want to beg me? She says, I've been begging you all night. He says, Kenzie, please stop trying to make me feel bad. And she says, I'm not. I feel like effing shit. I taste effing blood. I keep throwing up. My head is pounding and nobody is here for me. Please come back. It will mean the world to me. It will prove you actually care. He says, I don't know if I should prove that right now. And she says, I need you, Dom, please. I feel so sick. I want you here for me. Please come. He says, okay, I'm done texting you, babe. Good night. And she says, I'm alone. I'm sad. No, please. Dom, don't do this. Please, I'm begging. OMG. He says, you just keep saying the same thing. She says, I need you. I need you. Come back. Stop. Dom, don't do this. Dom, don't. I'm puking and shit and you want to leave me before F. She must be so drunk right now. She says, whatever, Dom. I knew you never cared. Please. And he says, sorry. And she says, no. He says, sorry. She says, that's all? Wow. And he says, I can't. She says, you can. He says, please, don't do this to me. And she says, puking right now. And he says, please, don't do this to me. Please. Please, said Dom. Please. She says, I'm puking. Help. He says, please. Please again. She says, it's foam. He says, please. Please. She says, I'm going to die. He says, stop. You're not going to die. You're acting foolish. She says, I'm scared. He says, stop telling yourself that. She says, I'm scared. I keep puking foam. When I close my eyes, I'm dizzy. He says, look, put on your big girl pants and suck it up. Go get some water and go to bed. It'll be better tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Desperate much? Is this going anywhere? I'm legit afraid. Are you guys going to have nightmares tonight? Because I am. She should stick with the weed. Patron makes her needy. So he says, look, put your big girl pants on and go to sleep. He says, get off your phone too. I got a headache now. And she says, when are you coming back? Oh, wait. And he says, this is at 3:44 a.m. He says, I got a headache now. And then at 11:19 a.m., she says, when are you coming back? I feel like I don't know you anymore. You blow my mind. It's sad because I never do this shit to you. There's hella cops parked outside. He says, why? There's cops? She says, why the F would I know? Like 4. Look at Insta. He says, are they at the house? She says, they're talking to Toph and a girl. He says, what girl? Where's Toph? Hide my shit. She says, outside. Okay. He says, actually, too much shit to hide anyways. She says, how? How do I hide? I'm panicking. He says, nothing is going to happen. They're all outside. It's okay. Is my mom there? She says, yeah. She's coming outside. Who is Savannah? It's about her. And he says, WTF. She says, who is that? And she says, Nikki's weird ass friend. She says, there was like 5 cops. Really? WTF. Dom says, where's Savannah going? Mackenzie says, she's in Angelo's room. I don't know. How about you come back? And he says, that's RETARDEAF. She says, I don't know what the F was going on. I went pee and seen hella cops. Are you coming back? And he says, I don't know. And she says, N-word, WTF. You're honestly so fake. Whatever, Dom. On D&D all night being such a DICK when I'm sick and begging for you to come back. Effing Angelo helped me last night and it should have been you. I puked like 15 times. He says, I can't be there to comfort you when we're trying to separate. Okay, I'm ending it there. That's it. You guys will have to come back for more tomorrow. She's trying to get him to come home. She is a drunky monkey who needs to not be a drunky monkey. This is insane. This is wild. I've never seen anything like this in real life, except here. He should tell her that he has COVID, right? This is ridiculous. Yeah. Thank you, Melanie. My brain is going to explode. I have to go debrief now. Okay. We got through like a lot tonight. 1,000 pages. Don't leave us. I gotta leave you guys. Don't be sad. We'll be back tomorrow. I am going to be covering more true crime tomorrow, and then we're going to be covering Mackenzie all week. So definitely please make sure you tune in. I know, I feel like we all have to like decompress now. Like go meditate, drink, do whatever you got to do, whatever you like to do. And just decompress. Yes, everyone hype and like this video. Thanks, Melly. It's been a crazy night. I taste blood. Don't make me call Angelo. I'm going to bed. I wish you guys could come sleep here. I'm going to start drinking. Can't wait for the next reading. Yes. Okay. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to be covering Emmanuel Harrow or Brian Koberger. I'm obsessed with that case too. And I got all the receipts there too. So we're going to start doing that. But I'll be live all day on Friday. So I hope you guys can join. And I will be live tomorrow with more Mackenzie and other true crime. Don't go. Wait. Don't break up. No. I'm breaking up with you guys for the night. No one show up to my house. No one start blowing me up via text. Okay? Okay. Thank you so much for the generous amount of comment. Yay. Love you. Crazy. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I'm never drinking Patron again. Don't drink Patron. No, please don't. Anyways, okay. I hope you guys I'm puking foam. Why am I sweating? This isn't fair. That was a lot. It was a lot. Can you come back in 5 minutes? 1 minute. If you guys don't come back in 1 minute, we're breaking up. And I'm going to be so mad. And I'm going to key your car. Just kidding. Yeah, Patron tastes like gasoline. Yucky. We're not breaking up. Amy's like, you're not breaking up with us. Can't get enough of Koberger. We're going to start covering that. I want to read the docs. So pitiful how she begs. Exactly. Melly, my house is on fire. Don't leave it. Stop it. FaceTime. You guys, don't blow me up. I'll put you on. I'm going to put it on D&D. I'm going to block you guys. Wait, just come by. No. Okay. Too much here. Don't go, Melly. I know. We'll be back tomorrow night. I appreciate you guys for being here. You guys are so much fun. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow. On Friday, I'm going to do a two-part of text. We're going to do one in the daytime and one in the evening. So make sure you guys have your notifications on. It's about to get crazy. We're only in 2020, baby. We're only in 2020. Shout out to us. We're at 3,000 pages. We have about 27,682 to go. So please make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I appreciate you guys for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Trying to run, the sense can ask for feedbacks, but you getting none. It's from o'clock with Melly, let's have some fucking fun. Some try to hide away, so all they do is work, but nobody can hide once she gets a hold of that paperwork. So don't you dare come in here acting like a jerk. Dance might make her dance, but new court docs will make her wanna twerk. Dark hair shining in the Cali sun, Melly on the case, so no one and trying to run. You Sims can ask for feedbacks, but you getting none. It's crime o'clock with Melly, let's have some fucking fun. So if you're feeling for true crime, like it's a drug, crime o'clock with Melly is your motherfucking plug. Going so hard on criminals, they'll call their mama for a hug. She's finding out all the stuff they try to sweep under the rug. Dark hair shining in the Cali sun, Melly on the case, so no one and trying